Get my curler.
Megan Fox has the story.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. Megan Fox, a national journalist.
Mastodon. I will never be able to say that out loud.
It feels like the Flintstones live there.
It does.
Well, don't trust women. I think you just touched on that with your last. That's what they brought. We're going to have to bring back chaperones.
Jesus, no.
Just careful. Stop! Break! Ooh. Hard right.
How did you screw up a stove, Megan? You're a woman. I thought that was baked into you, like at the genetic level, how to operate kitchen equipment.
And honestly, Megan, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you.
You get Dino hanging out outside chewing on a large bone.
I highly recommend being targeted by the New York Times and Rolling Stone for weight loss. And I'd say, keep it coming. I need to lose 20 more. Please, keep it coming.
Explain to me, Megan, why did this country not have a holiday once a year? That's the time you vote. If you don't show up and vote, up your ass. You don't get another chance. You don't get, I don't care if you're in the hospital. Crawl to the stake, crawl there. But that's it, 1 day, 12 hours, and then you're done. And you count them that day, and that night you know who the hell won.
I will eat you alive. You want to tangle? You want to go?
The only thing going through my head is, what are you going to do when Megan Fox runs wild on you, brother?
He made a deal with the devil. She's the devil.
He wants that.
Oh, God. Whoa! Oh! All right. Penalty box for slug. Yep.
Of a mile.
Are you ready to behave yourself now, slug?
This frustrating rep.
Are you ready to behave yourself? Repossessed puppies. I'm hiding pork chop. Have you seen his little pork chop? Oh my God, pork chop is the cutest.
That sounds bad.
Have you seen it?
Pork is pork.
Though you may be tempted, do not contact any person or persons mentioned on this stream. Do not even think about contacting anyone who may be the topic of the daily news. If you should do that, the host will question your IQ, possibly call you names, and mock you for disobeying these basic rules of decency.
All the best.
All the best. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the show. It's me, your favorite medium smart journalist. I'm wearing my Objection Hearsay t-shirt today. These are still available in the merch store. My monitor is dirty, and it looks like I have a unibrow because something's on my monitor. Hold on, I have to move it. That's going to drive me crazy. All right, Jennifer Williams is here with us today from You Are the Power, and she's going to help us as we go through the rest of this testimony by Elizabeth Bono, the DCFS Georgia Defects case manager on the Timms case. Now we're expecting more people today too. Mo should be here shortly. I believe that Flux will be here, and around 10 o'clock, Spike Cohen from You Are the Power is going to be joining us and talking to us about what's new in his world. And I'm sure that, and he's going to watch a little bit of this with us as well today. We left off. Where did we leave off? Oh, I forgot to pin the bingo link. Oh, I'm behind. I'm sorry.
We left off. Catherine was about to start her cross.
Correct. And I thought I had the bingo open on my screen. I did. But now I don't. Okay, here we go. All right. Stay tuned for the bingo link. It will be coming into the YouTube chat in just one moment. Don't forget super tips that support the show using fun AI voices. Super tips are here as well. It's at I can't type and talk at the same time. It's impossible. Supertip.gg/Megan Fox. And then we have the bingo link. And I will pin these to the top of the chat right now. There we go. All right. Now you have both of them. And Mo in the deep end is joining us. How you doing, Mo?
Good. Somewhat alive this week, which is better than last week.
Better than last week. Good. Anything's better than that.
Pretty
So we have, I've got my tea kettle set up. I'm all set. I don't have to leave to go and get my coffee or whatever. I'm on a tea kick. It's fall. This happens to me every fall. I just want to drink tea. All right. Where is, not that. Here it is. All right. This is where we left off. Let's pull this up.
Oh, yes. Bring the fire.
Carrie's attorney. What's her name again?
Catherine Bernard.
Catherine Bernard is about to cross this clownish woman. I'm not drinking Irish tea. I'm drinking English tea. It's black tea. Don't get it twisted. It's just English breakfast tea. It's very boring, but I like it. All right.
Good morning, Ms. Bono.
Good morning.
All right.
Oh, I'm hating
So
Catherine's
when was your
hair
first
right off
interaction
the
with
bat.
Jameson Timms?
I'm sorry, Catherine. I'm just hating it. I'm hating it. Look at what
She
it's doing in the back.
Well, so she has what I have because my top layer is straight, but my undercoat is curly. So the groomer always tells me just put it in a ponytail.
Yes. Yes,
She
the
needs to just
ponytail.
Fluff it back real quick.
Or just fluff it back.
Do a quick
But see,
fluff.
this is the problem with wearing it down in court. I wouldn't trust what the back of my hair looked like at any moment. No, you
Yeah.
cannot trust that the back of your head looks okay. Like it's not gonna. I can only trust what I can see in the camera. I can't tell you what this is gonna look like. In fact, it probably looks like hot garbage right now. This is why it needs to be pulled up and back. Like just pull it up. And then we don't have to deal with this because I'm going to have to
Besides-
look at this now the entire time she's turned this direction and I can't. There's
Yeah.
a cowlick coming out of
Maybe-
the back.
Maybe Jeb will just focus on Elizabeth.
Let's
Yeah,
hope.
that's the
All right,
problem with my hair down because I tend to start twirling my hair, so I know I have to keep it up. I mean, not that my job is super serial, that they're like, you're twirling your hair, but still.
All right, I think we can go ahead and check off hair talk from the bingo card. We are on a roll already. We're not even 30 seconds in.
It would have been at the end of January. I don't know the exact date.
Okay. Was it while he was still in foster care with?
No.
So it would have been while he was in the care of.
What
Yes.
just happened? That was weird.
When did you first get staffed on Jameson's case?
I don't know the date of the first staffing. I was there for the very first PPH hearing and kind of started the case from there, got all the information. It officially comes to foster care around the adjudication portion. However,
Okay.
the adjudication
Sorry
took,
for the traffic noise.
I think, a couple months to get through. And so foster care started working it before that adjudication process was over.
Okay. What was your involvement in the decision to seize Jameson Timms from the Choa Hospital and kick his parents out of the hospital on January 14th?
Zero.
Okay. So were you aware of the case at that point?
I was aware that the case had come in. I was not a part of any of that.
How did you become aware that the case came in?
When the investigators reported that they were going to be asking for custody and foster care needed to know that somebody would be getting that case.
When did that happen?
It would have been mid-January, right after they would have taken custody.
Well, so just to narrow it down, the department instructed or individuals from the department instructed Brady and Carrie Timms to bring Jameson to the hospital in Atlanta on January 13th, correct?
That's what the record says.
Well, and I just want to make sure, as the DFACS representative who's testifying here today, and you're the case manager for Jameson Timms, right? Or you were at the time?
The foster care case manager, yes.
Okay. What's the difference between a case manager and a foster care case manager?
So, like I explained earlier, there's different avenues of DFACS. So it comes in for an investigations. They have 30 to 45 days to investigate. They're part of the investigators. I'm part of foster care. So I get a case after a child.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm not done with my hair talk. The prosecutor has this nice neat little sock bun, but did she mean for it to be on the side?
I noticed that the other day, and I wondered.
Centered.
Is it
okay?
It's off
It's
center.
not center. That's
but
when you're slightly to the side.
I like a good sock bun on the side. I like a side bun. A side bun is pretty. But this
one looks incredibly sphincterish to me. Like normally they don't, but that looks.
It is quite puckered. I will say that it's quite puckered and also off kilter. I don't think she meant it to be on the side, which is why it's giving me the.
That's
I'm
what
confused.
happens when you sleep in and you're like, I have to do guard duty at 3. I'll just sleep in my sock bun and I'll just wake up like 2 seconds before I have to go on.
Can confirm. Can confirm. That's exactly what it looks like.
She had CQ duty.
Oh my goodness. Jace GB in the place says, someone help me and explain what I'm watching. Well, you're watching a couple of dummies criticizing hair. Sorry. No, you're watching the Timms trial. The Timms trial is about Brady and Carrie Timms, whose baby was taken from them falsely and wrongly with false abuse allegations at Shoah Hospital in Atlanta. By the way, the court reporter looks like she's sitting in a heavenly beam currently. Why does she look like she's glowing?
I don't know.
The lighting is
really
funny.
Pale,
So we're watching the trial coverage of this, which the trial was released after it was done. So it was filmed and then it was released afterwards. So Carrie and Brady Timms have been acquitted. They are not guilty of child abuse. Thought I'd just get that out of the way because, that none of this of what they said happened. And we are now currently, the DFACS person is on the stand, but I'm just criticizing everyone's hair because that's what I do here. So don't mind me.
Has been in custody from the judge.
Okay. Well, so I really want to drill down on this period in mid-January that Jameson was taken away from his parents and your involvement in that decision-making process. So were you aware of Jameson Timms' case on January 13th, 2022?
I was aware that the investigators were investigating the case, but I had no involvement in any of that.
Who were the investigators investigating the case?
April Hunt.
Who else?
It would have been the supervisor. Lori, I think, was still with us. Lori Stanfield.
Okay. Were there any other investigators working on the case that you knew of on January 13th, 2022?
I don't know.
Who would know?
The investigators.
Okay. Who you believe would be April Hunt and Lori Stanfield?
Yes.
But April Hunt said there's nothing here.
Just a few moments ago was that they wanted to take custody of Jameson.
They asked for custody from the judge.
When did that happen?
I don't know.
Who would know?
Megan,
April Hunt.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So if April Hunt.
Now, I know I was often in a la-la land, but would anyone, I feel like I'm Jesse Ventura, I'm just asking questions here, but who the hell knows why this child was taken? Because it's like, no, it was this Hunt lady. I don't know. I just work, foster care. Well, who is they? I feel, again, like Alex Jones.
I know. Get out your tinfoil hat, folks. You're going to need it. Who is they? It's a good question. But this is, again, if you look at your bingo card, there is a Spider-Man meme on there for a reason. Because nobody Nobody at CHOA knows who did what. They're all like, she did it. He did it. No, they did it. No, it wasn't me. It was him. It was her. Like, it's ridiculous. Nobody knows why they do what they do.
Yeah, like the investigator, the one who should know, is like, no, it's fine. Fine. They're fine.
Yeah,
They're
no.
fine.
So April Hunt, we know, saw no problem and recommended that the baby
Exactly.
stay in the home. So she's saying, well, it was April Hunt. No, it wasn't.
And so I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, what
She
is going
lying
on?
like that Jordache thermal shirt from 1998. Blossom called. She'd like her shirt back.
Blossom. That's a reference.
Came in and testified that she did a home visit and found. So if April Hunt came in and testified that she did a home visit and found nothing wrong with Brady and Carrie Timms' home or
That's what she
Jameson
found.
Timms, would that surprise you?
I'm not part of the investigation. I don't know what that process looked like for them.
Okay, well, all right. So
She
if
should
I,
know.
if I understand your testimony correctly, you
She
got
should
involved with
know.
Jameson's case after being told that the investigators wanted to remove him from his parents. Do I have that correct?
No.
Okay.
I got involved after the judge gave us custody. I went to the very first court hearing. We had already had custody. I was not involved in any of the investigation. I came in as a
It's
foster care
convenient.
case manager to start working the foster care side of the case.
Okay.
But
And
didn't
so
you
I'm
have
just trying to
basic knowledge
understand
of
what the
case?
timeline was, not generally for DFACS, but for Jameson Timms specifically. Were
Okay.
you aware of his case on January 13th, 2022?
I was aware that there was a child that had come into care. That's what I knew.
When did you become aware that there was a child, Jameson Timms, who had come into care?
At the preliminary protective hearing.
Okay, so was that on January 14th?
I can't remember the date of the protective hearing.
Okay, so we're here for trial of Brady and Carrie Timms on being accused of abusing Jameson Timms, and you can't recall when the hearing was that you came into the case
You
for
didn't-
DFACS on?
You didn't look at
It
your
was
notes?
January, it was 72 hours after we took custody, so.
Okay, so you hadn't had any hearing before a judge when you guys
72 hours
actually took
after.
custody of Jameson on January 14th, 2022?
There was no hearing.
Okay, so tell me about that decision that was made on January 14th, 2022 to take custody of Jameson Timms from his parents.
I can't tell you. I wasn't involved in that decision.
Okay, but were you aware of Jameson Timms' case at that point?
I was aware that there was a child that was coming into foster
WTF
care.
face?
As the foster care worker, I'm not involved in any of the investigation. I'm not involved in removing children unless I'm on call. I get the notice that we have a new child in care and I show up to court.
Look at my face.
It's like
Look
she
at all of
tried
our
to-
faces right now.
It's like she
If you
tried
just
to roll
show
her
up to
eyes, but
court and
she's
have a
not-
kid, like that's what happens. You just show up. Oh, I'm getting a kid today.
Yep, I guess.
No question.
That's-
No, nothing. Is that not so sad, you guys?
She's not an investigator. She just does what she's told. She's a good little marching
It's
soldier.
not her job.
Oh, didn't do nothing. Yes.
Didn't do nothing.
Get to the bingo card and you may check off didn't do nothing. Nobody did nothing in this trial.
I love,
like
according
didn't do nothing.
According to these people, this baby just magically came into DFAS care. Just-
After
wasn't
April
this
Hunt
person-
said, "Don't take him."
Don't take him.
After the investigator was like, "There's nothing wrong. You don't need to take this baby." The baby then just magically ended up in state care after that. Okay.
For everyone who knows someone or has seen that a child's been taken into custody by the state, it's like now you can see why you might question things. It's like, what if this woman is so heavily involved in the case and she has no answers? What do you think the judge who agreed to take the baby, what questions did that judge ask? What information was given to that judge?
God,
That's
do they
how
have
it
the
happened.
transcripts? Do they have the transcripts of that?
I don't know how that works with the preliminary hearings. That's a
Oh,
great
I would love to
question.
get those transcripts. That would be
I
fantastic.
should find
To
out
start-
how we can do that.
We should.
Working the foster care side of things.
Okay. So who made you aware of the child coming into care?
It was probably April. It was,
What? The person who said he shouldn't come into care?
Okay. And just to be clear.
What was that face? Look at her face.
To care.
Look at this.
It was probably April. It was,
Wasn't my job, so I didn't care.
Look at that face.
And just to be clear, because
I
such
understand contempt. That is contempt written all over that face. She has contempt for
irritated.
Catherine. Look at her bobbleheading. Oh, it's Wiggle Wiggle Itch Cough.
Yeah, it is.
and just to be
all right, chat. You can go over to your bingo card now, and you may check off a couple of things. We have defensive body language, and we also have, what was the other thing I was thinking? Did I have blink rate anomaly? Yes, blink rate anomaly. We definitely have that going on.
It's because she can't roll her eyes, so she just flutters them.
Again, I think what she's trying to do is maybe do some type of spell with those eyelashes, and it's like they're just gonna believe. They're just gonna believe.
It's a hostage thing. She's doing
They're
Morse
just
code.
gonna believe.
It's like SOS.
They are very distracting for the jury.
Yeah,
Maybe she
it
thought
is.
that this would distract the
no.
jury. It's a very Tammy Faye Baker thing we have going on here.
Oh, this is so not glam enough for Tammy Faye Baker. This is like Tammy Faye Baker from Tim U.
to be clear, because I understand that DFACS, y'all work with these cases all the time, but the decision to remove a child from the parent's custody and kick them out of the hospital would you agree that's a big deal?
Anytime we ask for custody from a judge, it's a big deal. Yes.
Well, but we haven't even gotten to asking for custody from a judge. We're talking about what was apparently a decision from the department, absent any judicial involvement, on January 13th or 14th that resulted in these folks getting kicked out of the hospital while y'all kept the baby.
They didn't have a judge's
So
order
tell me
yet?
about your involvement and knowledge of that.
Dang.
Nothing. I was not there. I was not a part of the investigation. I was not at the hospital. I did not make that decision. I did not know
We don't believe
them getting
you.
kicked out. That's not my role or my scope in DFACS.
So whose role is
She
it?
cannot deny
would be the
this hard
investigator.
enough or fast
So
enough.
probably April Hunt or Lori Stanfield.
Or whoever was there investigating. I don't know who was there that day.
Did you do any preparation in advance of
you
this
know
case coming to
anything
trial?
about this
Did you do any
case?
review of your former records and your interactions with the Timms family?
Yes, I reviewed my part of it as the foster care worker.
Okay. So did you review anything that told you about when and where you became involved in the case?
No, I believe
She's clanking. I can't.
Those
Okay,
her
here's another
bracelets, I
tip.
guess.
Yeah, here's another tip when you go to court. Do not wear clanky jewelry. It's so distracting for the jury, and like everyone's like, what is that noise? It sounds like silverware clanking. She has like bracelets or clangy bracelets or something, and like she's got them and she's moving around and they're clank, 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 clank.
She's
Distraction
more
up
proud of her
here,
Pandora
distraction here.
bracelet.
Yeah.
Like she's taking
like,
her
"My husband
beads
got me
and
a new
she's
bead."
just like, you know that scene from
Singing in the Rain.
In the Rain.
Yes,
where she has
with the beads.
the beads. And at first she's like, I can't. And then it's just the beads.
I can't make love to a bush. Yes, I love that scene.
That's what her necklace and the noise reminds me of.
that an investigator would have been subpoenaed.
Oh, well, yes, and April Hunt has already testified about not seeing any problems or injuries or anything going on. And should I assume that you are convinced that Jameson Timms was an abused child?
I only go off of what the medical providers are telling me. I'm not a medical
God.
expert.
All right,
It's not my
all right.
role to do.
All right, get over to the bingo card. We're checking off the Spider-Man meme. I thought we would get further before we had to do this, but I mean, clearly this woman is just pointing at everybody but her. I don't know. It's the investigators, the doctors. I don't know nothing about taking no babies, Miss Scarlett. I don't know nothing.
She does make a really mean curtain dress, though.
Oh, whoops. I got to get back over here. I started to play it and I didn't have it on the screen. That's a problem. Well, let me back up.
Not a medical expert. I only go off of what the medical providers are telling me. I'm not a medical expert. It's not my role to determine if a child has been abused or not.
Okay, so if the medical providers testified that it was not their role to determine whether a child should be removed, that it was in fact DFACS's role, who is right?
Well, removing a child and determining if they are a victim of physical abuse is two different things.
Well,
What?
I assume, in this case, that was the reason for your removal, was that you believe that Jameson Timms was the victim of child abuse, right? Would there have been any other reason for his removal?
No, the removal was because there were non-accidental injuries.
Okay. Who told you that there
Allegedly.
were mental injuries?
The investigators did. I met with the doctors.
What? April Hunt?
So let me be clear. When you say
No, she
the
didn't.
investigators, you're saying April Hunt.
Oh,
April, I just
Wiggle, wiggle.
wiggle, wiggle, Hitchcock.
She's
Look at
doing
her
it.
go.
She's
Look at
doing
her
it, guys.
go.
Investigators.
Do you recall?
I can't remember if it was April. I just know that she was one of the main investigators.
Do you recall who told you that Jameson Timms was a victim of non-accidental injury?
I believe I read it in the complaint that was at the first hearing.
So who was that?
Whoever wrote the complaint, I'm not sure.
Well, who wrote the complaint?
Let me turn to a different avenue. So you've been with DFACS for about 8 years, right?
Catherine is so
Okay.
annoyed. She's so annoyed. I can hear it. Let me turn to something else before I come across this podium and choke you.
Yeah.
Were you
Also,
aware
how
of
many
the new memo?
investigators do they have on a single case? If you're trying
Well, that's
to,
a good question. As far as we have established so far, there was only one. Her name was April Hunt. She found no cause to remove the baby.
okay, so I also have a question. I mean, they had decided to ambush the Timms when they were going to CHOA. So this was already made before much of the at least blood work had come back, to the point where, and weren't all of his, because it was at that scan that they found the rib fractures and compression fracture. So they knew even before they had the bad scan that they were going to take this child with the little eczema thing.
Yeah.
That was what we.
Well,
And the thing under
remember,
the tongue.
the detective, who I can't wait for us to hear, he was there before Carrie and Brady even got there. Why is there a detective at a hospital before the parents even arrive? That's before any skeletal surveys. That's before the blood work.
Yeah. So
That's what I want to know is, from a criminal standpoint, from a legal standpoint, these parents are being charged with abuse. In my eyes, that's assault. You're being charged with assault, and you need, police work needs to be done to, I don't know, there's actual steps to law when you assault somebody. Why is this children thing different?
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Where are the actual detectives that are also in the home? Because if there are these assault allegations, how is
Flux,
this a hospital matter?
You better be around when we do Faulkner's testimony. You will probably lose your mind at this guy.
Oh my God, this is why I'm going back to school, so that this shit stops happening. I'm so pissed.
Yeah.
It's just, look, you, under the auspices of taking care of children, which is something that you can get most everyone to agree on, you did the most shitty, poor job. Because let's look at Jameson holistically. This is a child who is taken away from the only parents he's known, put into a, strange foster care system, or left at a hospital, with his blood pressure constantly raised. That's a sign of stress. I mean, they are not looking at Jameson holistically. And for every time that DCYF takes a child away from a family, we just had, a child that was reunified with the family he'd been taken away from 8 times, and he lost his life. Again, if I'm president, we are shutting down all DFACSs, and we are building them back again for purpose.
You can be
Agreed.
president and I'll be your AG.
Rosalind wants to know, is it me or does she look like a sand snake from Beetlejuice? I don't know. You tell me. What do you think?
I do have the desire to sing Deo. I'm not going to lie.
I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I feel the vibe. I definitely think I feel the vibe.
Snake vibe, definitely.
Where did it go? Where did it go?
We need
Here it
a
is.
snake chorus.
Wait, where is it? There it is. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
That was produced by your Deputy Commissioner of Child Welfare at the Department of Human Services, Lon Roberts, regarding medically diagnosed child maltreatment assessments.
I'm sure I've read it. I don't know when it came out.
Oh, God. She's annoying.
But do you know the memo that I'm talking about?
Not off the top.
Okay. Well,
Not off the top.
I told you that there was, in fact, a memo from Lon Roberts, Deputy Commissioner of Child Welfare, regarding medically diagnosed child maltreatment assessments. And it says that this is to strengthen the assessment of medically diagnosed child maltreatment, specifically any medical determination that a child's injuries are non-accidental. This memo serves to establish several practice enhancements. Does that refresh your recollection about a memo governing the actions of your agency that you are now currently bound by?
Again, I
Shrugging.
get memos every day. I don't.
She gets memos every day, guys.
Oh my God! Fire her
This
now.
is a significant
Fire
change to
her
your
now.
policy. Are you kidding me? Yeah, you get a memo every day,
I
like
don't know.
tomorrow's Hawaiian shirt day if you bring a buck.
I don't know.
This
I get
one's
memos
kind of
every day.
important to your mother effing job. Could you please? This is why people want to repeal the 19th. I'm just saying.
What would you say you do here?
We send
What
all
do
of them
you
to Snake
do?
Island. Let's
Yes.
send all of them to Snake Island. That's what
I want
vote.
the bobs. I want the bobs in every DCF office. What would you say you do here? And then I want Doge to just like fire across the board for any one of these assholes who can't tell you what they do or if they even read the memo. Did you
This is
get
not-
the memo?
This is not office
you
space.
know
This
how
is
to
not a
read?
TPS report.
Well,
And
that reminds
honestly,
me.
I think she could do great on Etsy selling a jump to conclusion mat. So she'd do a better job.
We talked to Candace Brose, Commissioner of DHS, and told her about what her people were saying on stand. She had said to us she would fire anybody who's not going to follow through with her directive. So I guess I better check in with her.
I hope that she has done some firings, and I hope that this person, I hope that Elizabeth Bono or Bozo or whatever the hell her name is, I hope she's
It's
one of them,
Bozo.
because this is she has such a horrible attitude too. Like, you're under oath, ma'am. You're in a court of law. It should not be difficult for you to tell the truth because you're supposed to be telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you shrugging and mugging for the camera? And why are you acting like a bitch? What a bitch. Okay, let's go to the bingo card because
Yep, I was like, I've been
What a
holding that in because we got
bitch.
so many other bingos. I'm like, we gotta like slow it, but
I know we
man,
got to
what a
slow it down, but I'm
bitch.
sorry, I'm checking it off. So far we've got blink rate anomaly, what a bitch, defensive body language, didn't do nothing, hair talk, and Spider-Man meme. Oh man, these people, they just never stop.
Okay.
You are a little too ignorant
Miss
to be that
Bernard?
smug.
Yes.
I'm
Take a
choosing
bright breath.
all
You're
the
just-
violet with
Go
this
ahead.
woman.
Thank you very
All
much.
of the violet.
And good
All right, her hair looks better now.
Okay. Did you have the
Cowlick
opportunity
is
to
covered
review
up.
any of your reports over the lunch break to determine which investigators spoke to you regarding Jameson Timms?
I don't think it was a specific investigator. The child came into care. There was talk around the office. Foster care was alerted that there was a child that had come into
Talk
care.
around the office? What? Wait,
Talk
whoa,
around the
whoa. Are you standing around the water cooler discussing this? Or like, so
Taking
no one's
babies
writing
away.
it? So no one's writing it down. There was just talk around the office. What?
You didn't even
It's just
send
talk around the office that
an
takes your babies
owl
away.
to someone. I mean, I know you're a Harry Potter fan, ma'am. I just know you have 8 cats and they all hate you. But you couldn't have at least like sent a post-it note like, hey, that kid we're supposed to be taking away and those parents were charging and trying to take away,
Yeah.
their freedom. think we should put a memo about this?
Or how about,
Now
does
we
anyone care that the
memo?
investigator said we shouldn't take the baby? Are we sure we should still take the baby? Like, did no one
Where
want to
was
go?
she with this talk around the office?
Yeah.
Also,
Talk
how can
around
she
the
remember it? She
office.
can't remember a GD thing. Like, but she
True.
remembers,
Talk
that there was
around the
talk around
office.
the office.
You can't remember work, but you can remember all the gossip that you listen to at work so that you can
To
go
be
home and tell your
fair,
spouse,
I could be the same way if I were
These
in an office
gossiping
space.
bitches. That's true. We did like to do the gossip around the water cooler, but still,
You're
when
taking
talking about
babies.
taking about people's babies away. I would expect it there to be a record, a written record.
I believe they said it was Jameson Timms, but I didn't see the file. The stages weren't open or put on my load. And so when I first learned of the case was on January the 21st, 2022 at that permanency or that preliminary protective hearing.
Oh, I hate the way she's making her lips
Okay,
move.
so you first officially
hate everything
came on
about
to
this
Jameson's
person.
case on January 21st.
Yes.
So you were not involved in anything that was happening at CHOA from January 13th to January 15th?
No.
So did you ever meet or work with Nicole, the foster parent for Jameson Timms?
I know I spoke to her about the child because that would be considered my foster placement, but I didn't see the child in Nicole's home.
Okay. So when did you speak to Ms. about the placement?
It would have likely been at the January 21st hearing. I didn't place the child in the home. That initial placement is done by investigators.
Okay. And I believe January 21st, that was the hearing at which the child was transferred to the care of Brittany, right?
I believe that the child was transferred on the 28th hearing, January 28th.
You believe?
All right.
I'm just waiting for one of those eyelashes to fall off and just like creep down the side
Your
of
Honor,
her
if I could
face.
approach the witness.
Certainly. Tuck right here. It's gonna come loose with all that rapid eye blinking she's doing.
All right. And Your Honor, if I could approach the witness.
Certainly. God, she actually
So that I can
thinks
slap
looked
the
good.
witness.
She actually
Yes.
looked in the mirror that morning and was like, "You look slay. Like, you look good. Those look great on you." Like, folks, can you see yourself in the mirror? Because those look ridiculous.
Again, I really don't like. I need to dress age appropriate. She is not dressed
so
age appropriate.
She's dressed like a 5-year-old.
You might
She
review
does
that
have adult
and
garanimals
see if
on.
you recognize it.
Adult garanimals.
Yes, it's one of our memos.
Okay. And so what you said, but you get, there's a lot of these memos that come through Department of Human Services and DFACS.
Yes.
Okay. And so this one, it's to child welfare leadership. So you would be in child welfare leadership, right?
Correct.
Okay. And it's saying that we need to strengthen the assessment of medically diagnosed child maltreatment, specifically any medical determination that a child's injuries are non-accidental, which would you agree that that's the kind of case we're dealing with here, where there is an allegation that the child's injuries were non-accidental?
Yes.
Okay. And so does the memo say, effective immediately, the following steps must be followed in physical abuse investigations involving an assessment by a child abuse pediatrician?
Yes.
Okay. And so the first requirement is that the DFACS staff who serve as liaisons at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, referred to as CHOA liaisons, must be notified immediately about these cases and be involved in all case activity while the child is being treated by the hospital. Would you agree that's what the first step that must be followed in physical abuse cases investigations?
Yes.
Okay. And to your knowledge, was this procedure already happening prior to this memo being issued on February 14th of this year?
Yes, we coordinated with Ann Ray, the liaison at CHOA.
Okay. So Ann Ray has been looped in from the beginning on the Jameson Timms case?
Yes.
Is that accurate? Okay. When is the first time you spoke with Ann Ray about Jameson's case?
I didn't speak with Ann Ray.
Okay, so you never spoke to her?
No.
Even though you were the foster care manager for Jameson?
Right. Those conversations are held between the investigators.
Okay. Okay.
Didn't do
And then,
nothing.
so the second step that's listed in the memo is the DFAC Safety Bridge will provide consultation and support to staff when cases involve other children's hospitals. Would you agree that's what is directed on the memo?
Yes.
What is DFAC Safety Bridge?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
We never
Do you
have found that
have you
answer.
experienced any issues when cases involve other children's hospitals with communication among the hospitals?
I haven't. But again, my role is limited to foster care, not the investigation portions.
Well, I believe you, so you've served in several different capacities with DFACs over the past 8 years, right?
That's correct.
Okay. But you've never had any occasion to interact with DFAC Safety Bridge?
No.
Okay. Have you had occasion to work on cases that have involved visits to Erlanger, TC Thompson up in Chattanooga, as well as Children's Healthcare of Atlanta?
In the foster care portion of it, yes. As far as investigating, no. The only time that I would do that is if I was on call, and that was generally just to lay eyes on the child, and then the investigations would pick it up.
Okay. And you said you didn't lay eyes on Jameson Timms until what was the date that you first laid eyes on Jameson Timms?
It wasn't until after the 21st of January.
Do you recall exactly when it was?
I don't. I know that I did that visit on the 6th of February, so I definitely saw the child that day.
So it was sometime between January 21st and February 6th that you first physically saw Jameson Timms.
I believe so. I might have seen him at the office, but I couldn't tell you the date.
Okay. So the third step in the memo is that the CHOA liaison will ask the child abuse pediatrician to complete the new medical attestation form that he or she reviewed the child's medical history before he or she made the determination that the child's injuries were non-accidental. If the child abuse pediatrician does not complete the attestation form, the CHOA liaison must document their efforts to obtain a signed attestation and that the child abuse pediatrician failed or refused to sign whichever is applicable in the SHINE's log of contacts. Is that what the memo says?
Yes.
Okay. So have you ever dealt with any of these attestation forms with pediatricians?
I have not had to.
Okay. Would you, based on your knowledge and experience with DFACs, would you think that there would be any issue with the pediatrician responsible for making the diagnosis signing off on a medical attestation form with this information?
I'm going to object to speculation. She's asking her to say what the doctor would or would not do.
Ms.
And
Bernard?
I certainly recognize that she potentially does not know the answer to the question. However, based on her experience with DFACs, she may have knowledge about whether there would be legal concerns or other reasons that a doctor might not want to sign this.
I'll let her ask the question in that form.
So do you know of any reason that a pediatrician would not be able to sign one of these attestation forms if they had completed the diagnosis and treatment of the child?
I don't have any experience with it, so I wouldn't have an answer.
Okay. All right. And then on the second page of the memo, under steps, unless prohibited or otherwise constrained by court order, the child's caregivers are authorized to seek alternative medical opinions or testing at their own expense without having to obtain prior approval from DFACs. The assigned CM must review all alternative opinions or test results, document them in SHINES, and notify the juvenile court, if applicable, through the DFAC's Special Assistant Attorney General to ensure that the court can consider the results in any decision making.
Oh boy, did they do that?
That's what it says. Okay. And so this is, and then after that, it says, unless prohibited or otherwise constrained by court order, if the child is in foster care and his or her caregivers wish to seek alternative medical opinions or testings, the DFAC's case manager shall coordinate with their supervisor, the child's caregivers, and if applicable, each of the parties assigned counsel to allow for the alternative medical opinion or testing to safely occur. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, do you, were you familiar with any of the cases that led up to this memo being issued in February of this year?
No.
Okay. So in getting a second opinion, is that something that DFACS would object to in a case like Jameson Timms?
No.
Well, but DFACS did object in this case, right?
Yes.
So why did DFACS object to Jameson Timms' parents seeking alternative medical opinions?
It wasn't necessarily seeking alternative. It was the fact that we hadn't really been notified. When we were notified, there was little to no time to even give DFACS the opportunity to go, which we.
Oh, she is so full of shit, but here to help us uncover how full of shit she is. Carrie Timms, how are you?
Good morning, ladies.
Your hair looks beautiful this morning. God, that color. I cannot get over the color of your hair. It is so pretty.
Thank you very much. Looks like I jumped in at a good time.
Yeah. She's just now telling us that we've just been through, Catherine Bernard has been through how all DFACS says you're allowed to get a second opinion. The second opinions have to be presented to a judge. And she's like, so did you do any of that? Well, we didn't have time. Well, we did object, yes, because we didn't have time. What? Time for what? Time to go? But she did go. She was there.
Megan, they were very busy around the water cooler. How were they to make, how are they to, book tickets or keep up with their memos that they get so many of?
They had time to pack stilettos because they both were walking around Boston in stilettos. That's all I'm saying.
Shut up. Oh, that's the best choice they could have made for those cobblestone streets. What a couple of dummies.
Granimals Chicks has Louis Vuittons. I called.
Well, she does dress like she's a 14-year-old, so.
Stilettos
She dresses like she's in high school.
Boston. Great choice, ladies.
I couldn't even do it in Chucks, man.
Yeah, if they had time to pack
some Banana Republic tennis shoes because I wore it was cold. I wore like knee-high boots, and they were like, those blisters. So I was like, I need the cheapest tennis shoes y'all got. They didn't match nothing I was wearing that day. And then we roll up in there in stilettos, and I'm like, whew.
No wonder they were so annoyed. They probably had to walk really far to get, because you know how spread out those hospitals are, and like building A and to building F, and then you got.
She's also annoyed the judge allowed this family to go. Don't forget that she didn't want them to go, so she's extra annoyed.
But I'm thinking that the footwear had to do with her bad mood that day too. If she was truly wearing stilettos in Boston in the winter,
And truly, yeah. I was
What
going to
an
say
idiot.
Boston in January.
Yeah,
We didn't go in
stilettos,
January.
Boston, January,
January.
cobblestone.
Yeah, I'd be in traction still.
Or like
This
any
is...
part of the winter.
Have they never heard of Uggs? Is this a footwear they don't know about? Because hello. All right, let's listen to this ridiculous excuse.
We're able to go out of state to even give DFACS the opportunity to go, which we were able to go out of state. And then with the other doctors, we couldn't even get a name for the doctor. We were told to ask an attorney. So that's where the concern is.
But you
We
can't
never
ask an
once
attorney?
Denied the child to go. We just wanted to be included in those conversations as the legal guardian.
Well, and I believe your earlier testimony was that the department did not want to let the child go to Boston for the medical opinion from Dr. Holick, right?
Not on that short of notice.
Okay. So, but your testimony earlier was that the department did not want to let the child go to Boston for the medical appointment.
At that time, yes.
Okay. What time
At
did the
that
department
time.
want to
What time
allow
did they
the child
want?
to go get medical assessment and treatment from Dr. Holick?
What time would have been
If
good?
there had been time for preparation, if there had been a conversation, if we had been privy to this information before these appointments were
But you were
booked, things
there.
like that. That was the concern.
Where is it written down? I want to know where in DCF rules is it written down that the second opinion has to be coordinated with DCF at a convenient time for DCF? Is that written down anywhere, Carrie, that you know of?
It's not in my binder that I have compiled over the last 3.5 years.
Well, and what these DCYF people fail to understand is that if you have a child with a specialized need, or you're like me and you have a fairly rare condition, you may have to go out of state. That's in fact what a lot of people have to do because, not every state has experts in everything. So it would not be out of the realm of possibility that you would go to, out of state. This should be something that they don't.
I like what Jen says. We didn't get to go, but we did go. We didn't have time, but we were there. This is like we were almost inconvenienced. We were
right.
DCF was almost unable to attend, and so we denied it. You're like, what? This is not so.
Okay, so
it's not even. It wasn't just that it was short notice. Like you said, you have to go out of state sometimes for specific doctors for specific conditions. The Mayo Clinic, you have to travel and all the things.
Right.
This doctor, and we had to go through hoops, literally questions upon questions and screenings just to be able to say, yeah, okay, you can get into an appointment. Here's the appointment times. And it was like this date or 6 months out. And I'm not going to sit there and wait 6 months out. I'm sorry, but I want answers for my child now. Like if you could have told me today, I would go today. And that's what they were ticked off about. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're at the mercy.
Priority and you're not.
You're at the mercy of the specialists, period. I've had the same issue where, when you get an appointment with a specialist, you get there. Yep. You take it, whatever they have, and you get there. Because otherwise, it could, like you said, it could be 6-8 months before you get another one. So, yeah, no, this is stupid. This is all stupid.
But your testimony is that it was merely like a scheduling and logistics issue that formed the basis for your objection?
I think there were a lot of concerns, but that was a big one.
Well, so what were the other concerns that made the department oppose the decision that the judge later said, yes, that you can go and take the child to this doctor? What were the other concerns the department had?
I think the biggest concern was that it appeared that this was being done without our knowledge, that they were going to take this child without us knowing, take this child out of state to a doctor that we don't know, and they were trying to almost hide it, is how it felt.
Okay. Why did it feel that way to you?
Because it was very quick. I can't remember who told us, but I don't remember it coming from the parents, and that's just was my assessment of the situation.
Okay. So when did you first learn about the appointment with Dr. Holick?
I learned about it from my supervisor. I can't remember the exact date. I just remember we had to work very quickly to get flights and things like that.
So what's very quickly?
I would say within a few days.
Okay. Okay. But the department didn't tell the judge, we would love to let them go take the child to the doctor. We just need a little more time. The department said, we don't want the child to go to Boston, right? That was the position that y'all took in court?
I'm not sure I didn't relay that information to the judge, so I'm not sure what was said.
It wasn't me. Didn't do nothing.
Were you the one appearing in court on behalf of the department during those proceedings?
I was not the primary.
So you were there?
I don't think we went to court for that. It was just a conversation. But there was other people that made that decision too, like my supervisor and the county director, the regional director was involved in that.
Okay. And your supervisor was Lori Stanfield?
No, it was Lindsay Bray.
Lindsay Bray. Okay. And then you mentioned the regional director was involved in the conversation too?
Yes, he was in the room.
And who was that?
Danny Knuckles.
Danny Knuckles.
And then you mentioned there was potentially someone else from DFACS who was involved in that?
The county director.
And who's that?
And was that Lori Stanfield?
No, that was Rachel Brooks.
Rachel Brooks.
Good Lord, there's too many supervisors.
Yeah, I was
so
just
there's a supervisor,
so
a regional director. Hold on, if I get this straight. Supervisor, a regional director, a county director. All these people are involved in this. This seems like an awful lot of high ups, Carrie, to be talking about your case. Why do they need every single person who's running this DCF office to be, canoodling about this case?
The funny part is, I remember it like it was yesterday, getting approval for this. Okay. And the approval came quickly before this meeting that they're talking about. Had to have, because Brady was doing like a bush hogging job. And I remember sitting on the trailer where the tractor goes, and I'm on the phone with my attorney, and I said, you're going to have to get this approved with the judge. I don't care if you have to call her personally, whatever you need to do, get this approved with the judge, because my baby is getting a second opinion, period, or it's going to be really, really bad. And by that, I meant like I was going to start going public then, because at this time we were hush hush. And so like within 5-10 minutes, she gives me a phone call back and she's like, the judge approved it. She's sending out the letter. And I was like, thank you. So they had no time for this meeting. So this meeting had to have happened after the judge had already approved it.
So why are they meeting after the judge already said yes?
Trying to veto.
What are they meeting about?
They're trying to get her to change her mind is what I gather.
Trying to get who to change?
The judge.
Oh, you think that they were going to try and get the judge to rescind the approval?
Yep.
Ooh. Wow. That's so raunchy.
That's just my take. That's my take. But whenever I heard, I mean, I'm on the phone.
Now,
saying,
did you ever make...
Well, it makes sense, because why else would they have this high up meeting suddenly, right, about your case? Except that there was action that day and the judge decided to let you go to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I still go back to, was it Dr. Garcia calling Mr. Knuckles and starting this whole thing off? She took it upon herself. She wouldn't, sign an attestation, but she could call the regional director personally about this case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
Any arrangements to do home visits with the Timms?
Like visit their home or do visits at their home? Can you elaborate?
Either one.
I don't believe I went to their home. And then the visits were done at the placement's home.
Okay. So do you recall sending a text message to Carrie Timms on June 6th, 2022, setting up an appointment for Wednesday, June 8th for a home visit?
I probably did.
Okay. What was the reason you never came to the home visit?
I don't know. That was quite a few years ago.
But we're in court on it
You
today.
know, we do need
nothing for the state.
That
So are you
witness
saying
amnesia that would
you
happen.
acknowledge you did not go to the
Cross-examination.
appointment made with Carrie Timms to view her home, right?
No, I didn't.
I'm sorry?
No, I didn't.
And you don't, can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury why you did not go to the home visit of the Timms that you had reached out
why?
to schedule
Tell us.
with Carrie?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if something came up or if something was rescheduled.
Still have
Cross-examination.
the text messages.
Cross-examination.
So did you ever do a home visit at the Timms home?
I didn't.
Is that something that someone else working on Jameson's case would have had responsibility for?
Other case managers may have gone. Sometimes we help each other
my
out, especially if
We help each other out.
we have too many cases. So I'm not sure if somebody else went. I know there had been walkthroughs of the home.
So you knew that there had been other walkthroughs of the home,
Yes.
and those walkthroughs had not produced any concerns, correct?
Correct.
Just the talk around the office.
And you were supervising some of the visits with Jameson and his parents, right?
I supervised one.
So you supervised one visit.
Yep.
A whole one? Wow.
And that was the one that you already
visit.
told us about with Carrie holding the baby for 2 hours, et cetera.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to continue on with this bitch, I love her, by the way. She's a lot of fun. We have a special guest. Spike Cohen is here from You're the Power. Spike, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks again for having me on, Megan. Hi, everyone.
Oh, it's good to have you here. We've been, I've been watching these. This is every day we've been watching parts of this trial. Thank you very much, by the way, for putting that trial footage up on You're the Power's YouTube page. Because this is what we need to see. The public needs to see what happened to this family and how these people can do what they do. We're finding out no evidence whatsoever to take a child away. And this one's like, I didn't do it. I don't know. It was the investigator. And the investigator's like, there wasn't a problem. And the doctors are like, it's not my job. And she's all, well, it's the doctor's job. And this is outrageous, Spike.
Yeah. Well, and what you're witnessing is a bunch of people who are usually used to doing things without any light being shined on it. And everyone knows that nothing wrong was done here except by them. And so they just do this because this is how they get their funding. They get their funding based on how many people they accuse of abuse, how many children they can put in foster care system, and then eventually on to often being adopted permanently, how long they can have the children in the system. And ultimately, if those kids have a chronic health condition, they get even more money. So this is how they do it. And so now and very often this is only done in family court where you don't get to see it. And where this is all done in front of parents like Carrie and like so many other parents across the country, while the judge just rubber stamps everything because they're in on it too. So this is a situation where it's in a criminal court where not only is there at least ostensibly the burden of proof of innocent until proven guilty and beyond a reasonable doubt, but you can see for yourself that no one actually thought they were guilty. And very often, a lot of the people aren't even very familiar with the case because it was one of many others that they just went, abuse. And so they don't even know what they're talking about. It's not just they have no proof that they did anything wrong. It's, I don't even know. I did a crash course on this case, before you brought me up and had me swear an oath that I'm not going to lie, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Can this end soon? That's what you're witnessing with this trial, and with the other 3 trials that we've done. It was the same thing. They had no evidence.
I think the state of Georgia is going to be very sorry that they brought criminal charges against these families.
Yes.
And I think that DFACS will never be the same either. And I think that they're learning through this, don't bring criminal charges because we can't hold up in criminal court, which is what I've been saying for years should actually be done when you are accused of abuse. That is a crime. That should absolutely 100% of the time go to criminal court. But in 99% of the time, it doesn't. It stays in juvenile court. It stays in family court where there's no burden. Like the burden is way down here, right? It's like 51% we think you did it. Instead of being beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the standard that we should have in a case like this. And I've told Carrie, I think the greatest thing that ever happened to you is the worst thing that ever happened to you was getting arrested and actually having this go before a criminal court. Yeah. Because had it not, they may still have been without their baby because family court is so insane.
Yes. Yeah, we're always told it was going to get worse before it got better, and this is exactly what they meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is absolutely insane. There are some states where the family courts are so corrupt that we're arguing they should just be abolished, and that all decisions should be made in an actual court of law. But at the very least, if a punishment is happening, that needs to be done either in an actual court, in a criminal court, or at the very, very least, this is actually less than the very least, those family courts must be required to use the same burden of proof and the same standards as you would see in a criminal court. I mean, there's no good reason not to. And when you hear their justifications not to, we've heard the speaking in front of state legislatures and things like that. We've heard the advocates for the family court say things like, well, the decision of whether or not to remove a child from a family isn't a punishment per se. And so that's not a criminal issue. That's just a family administrative issue. Now, ask the average parent, would you rather spend 10 years in prison or never see your kids again? And most of them are going to say, without even blinking,
prison.
Tell me how long I go to prison for if I at least get to see my kids after.
Well, and how dare they make this argument? Because the Supreme Court already ruled that loss of parental rights is akin to the death penalty. Yep. That's an actual ruling from the Supreme Court. So I don't want to hear them make arguments that it's not a punishment. The Supreme Court has said otherwise. The Supreme Court has said it's the ultimate punishment. So I don't want to hear that. That's a stupid argument that could be, destroyed immediately.
Are you
Yeah, I didn't say it was a good
getting a lot
argument.
of pushback legislatively to try to reform? Because I have a real problem with DCYF not having to share statistics or any of their inner workings. They don't have a watchdog. They are unaccountable to anyone. This, it's a public service. They're unaccountable. So are you getting a lot of pushback as far as trying to reform it, or do you just want to abolish it at this point and start over?
Yeah, so what we typically do is we're not necessarily going after the system. We go after individual judges and CPS workers. All of our work is local because it focuses on the specific human beings that are doing it to that specific family or whatever cause we're targeting, which is why we've been so successful, because I'm not going after the family court system. I'm going after this judge, this particular judge in particular who's doing this one thing. And we're keeping it very, very simple and very, very focused and localized, which is why we've had such incredible success. From there, we then build enough of a movement to then get the critical mass necessary to make the legislative changes we've seen, like, for example, the passage of Bridges law in Georgia. And it's because we start with people. You start with people, and then you go on to policy, and then you can explain the principle behind it. I think very often a lot of the people, and understandably so, a lot of the people that have worked in this space, often they've been the victims of this, and so they want to go after the system. And the problem with that is that the system is quite the Leviathan, and there's billions of dollars that are funding this thing. So if you're going after the system, you're already in an uphill battle. And when you take it to the public naturally wants to believe that's not true. Or even if they think it's true, they go, the system's too big, money's flowing, you can't fight City Hall, you can't fight the family courts.
To fight the Leviathan, you go to the micro level because you need human faces.
Yeah,
and
you make one bite at a time.
And Spike's doing an amazing job. You're the Power has done the greatest work in this area that I've ever seen. And I've been watching family court corruption and reporting on it for many years. And I've never seen an advocacy group as effective as yours, Spike. I never have seen it. I don't know how you do it, but I'm so proud of you guys for the work that you've done and the families that you've reunited, because there have been so many of them. So many of them have been reunited. Now I hear that Georgia is planning on, is it the Talon family? Is that their last name? Planning on going after another family criminally for the same thing. Again, the same prosecutors, the same What's the plan, Spike, for this prosecution team that appears to not want to learn the lesson?
What's their plan? I guess.
What's your plan for them?
I mean, for this, it's rinse and repeat. We're 4 for 4, and I would say our greatest victory has been on the family court side. When it comes to the criminal cases, with the exception of the Hernandez family, where the judge and the DA basically colluded to not allow any of the exonerating evidence to be shown to the jury, and we still won. In those other cases, at least for the most part, it seemed like the judges were at least allowing the evidence to be shown. For the most part, I'm not going to say there weren't still issues in some of the other trials as well. So unless they're planning to do what they tried doing in Forsyth County, I think their plan, and I think this is typical with government very often, they're used to failing up. And they're used to just doing poorly until they get their promotion to do poorly somewhere else. So I don't think they necessarily look at this the same way that we do, where we see that if this good thing happens, then that's a good thing. And if a bad thing happens, it's bad. They're just, okay, you want me to take on this dead end trial? Okay, I'll take on this dead end trial, and I'll do whatever I can to try to win it. But if I lose, off to the next dead end trial. It's this is government work at its finest, and thankfully it's in our favor because they're sucking at this too.
They sure do. And I would think that they would want a better conviction rate than what they're getting. Your cases are destroying their conviction rate now. And you would think somebody would be like, okay, maybe these aren't the best cases to take on. Maybe we should drop these, especially with the public outcry, sending emails. I know our show, we've been sending emails on their behalf to the prosecutor saying, drop this. This is insane. And you would think they would start to listen at some point when we have the same issues over and over again, but they don't seem to be, and they don't want to learn this lesson.
Yeah, I guess the beatings are going to continue until morale improves. I don't know what to tell them. You want to take terrible cases, and try and have them adjudicated. Adjudicated they will be, and what we're seeing it, and I hesitate to say it's a good thing, kind of in the same way that you hesitated to tell Carrie, hey, being arrested was the best thing that ever happened.
Right.
I hesitate to say, yeah, let's do it, because this is another family. It's easy for me to go, yeah, we're going to win this one. This family has to actually go through it and
it's
face
hideous.
the consequences. It was the same thing. I mean, with the Timms family, with the Hernandez family, and especially as we saw the case unfold with the Hernandez family, it was harder and harder for us to go, yeah, we've got this, because we're watching the judge just not allow
throw it. Yeah.
Just try to throw it. And thankfully the jury saw that the fix was in. It was so obvious. And I guess as a juror, I would be sitting there saying, why is there no evidence for why is the defense not allowed to say anything? And why does the judge keep telling the attendees they're not allowed to make facial expressions? Like what's happening here? And so it was very obvious the fix was in. But yeah, I think it's just going to keep going poorly for them.
Do we have that trial on camera as well? Was that one recorded?
Yes.
Yes, it wasn't live, but we do have it recorded, and it was so egregious. We're planning on doing quite a bit with that footage because it was
great.
Horrific. And
when's that coming out? When can we expect that?
Stay tuned. I will say that, because I mean, you watch it and it's just worse and worse. And I mean, there were situations where the judge said that the well-being of the children was not the concern of the court.
Yes.
The jury was not allowed to hear that Emma and Aria loved their parents. Just, I mean, bad thing after bad thing. It was Jennifer, you were actually there for, I was only there for the last day, so I didn't see a heck of a lot, but you were there for quite a bit of it, weren't you?
I was there every day, but I was sequestered because I took the stand. So I was sequestered through, the state's stuff, but it always felt really doom and gloom. I would sit out in the gallery and everyone would come out and, they're not supposed to talk to me because I'm a witness, but it never felt good. When we would get in the car for Carrie and Brady's trial, which we never missed a day, there was always something almost entertaining, something where we could say, can you believe Catherine did that? Can you believe how bad, Fox looked today? Yeah. Not her actual look, but I mean, like the way she was performing.
We know what you meant, girl.
We saw the poncho.
I mean,
we saw the poncho. The poncho was a big mistake.
Yes, it was. I mean, my kids went to these trials and they learned a lot. They're 11, 13, and 14 at the time, and they learned a lot about the system going to these trials. And it was night and day being at Carrie and Brady's and Matt and Taki's. Just night and day, completely different judges. I'm so ready for Jeb to finish the work for the Hernandez trial, because I think it's just going to blow people's mind what was kept from the jury. Yeah. The amount of things that we got to hear, thankfully on record and on camera, but that the jury was left out for, and Catherine would go through everything, and then the judge would be like, yeah, I'm not going to allow it.
I was there too, and it was absolutely horrendous, because during my trial, I had to be, but during theirs, I mean, obviously I needed to keep it together. It was so hard to sit in that gallery and keep it together, to the point where I accidentally did not keep it together. And Barney Fife in the courtroom was like, last chance. And I was like, you mean I get 2 chances? Because I'm not the second.
Let me know when I can let my second facial expression out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I looked it up. It's actually impossible to not make a facial expression. You always are making a facial expression. So I that's some very vague guidance from the court as to how not to be found in contempt. And I think it was very obvious. The judge didn't want the jury to see any modicum of any possibility that anyone on earth could support this family, could support Matt and Tucky Hernandez.
That's terrible.
Remember, it started horrible, Spike. They had the Daubert hearing 2 weeks before the trial. The state of Georgia tried to keep out all of their medical doctors. They wanted this family
Good
to
Lord.
go to trial and not have one single doctor testify for them.
That's insane.
The prosecutor didn't want the arresting officer to testify.
Oh, good luck on that one.
Well, he didn't.
He didn't.
No, I know,
The judge-
because
the
it would have been
allowed
exonerating
that?
evidence that he didn't
Oh
think
my
they did anything
God.
wrong. Yeah, no, I've never heard of a case. Your Honor, we're trying to put these people in prison for 40 years. The guy who arrested them, I don't think what he has to say is important.
He's gonna sit this one
Oh
out.
my
There's no
God.
reason for that. It's not relevant. The one who investigated and actually signed something saying we're, that we have
That is
probable cause to arrest.
horrific.
Yeah.
Yes. It was crazy, Megan. The stuff this judge and prosecutor did in tandem with each other, it was just crazy. It was just like
It's
unbelievable.
disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. All right, well, speaking of disgusting, we've got this woman still on the stand. And Spike, I don't know if you know about our bingo card, but you're welcome to play along.
Oh.
We are playing bingo.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me get you the link to it. I'll
It
put it in
helps
the
with the blood
private
pressure.
chat. It does. It does. It
You
helps
will
with the
not
blood
need
pressure.
An AED.
I'll put it in the private chat for you, the bingo link.
Okay.
Actually, I can't do it. Mo, do it for me. Can you do it for me? I can't find it.
Flux,
I don't know what
can
my
you
problem
do it
is.
for me as my spiritual child who knows technology?
Yes,
I got
Flux
you
will do
guys.
it. Flux will do it. All right. We have, so far we have crossed off the free space. What a bitch. Blink rate anomaly, defensive body language, the Spider-Man meme, which is the pointing at everyone.
Yeah.
Hair talk and didn't do nothing. What we have left is appropriate loving parents, because we keep hearing that from the state. They were appropriate loving parents. That's bound to come up at some point. The simulation does not disappoint. River dancing. Spike, have you seen Dr. Verena Brown river dancing? Have you seen that yet?
No, and I was hoping to go the rest of my life not seeing it, but I'll do what I can.
Good friends, we
for
had
the
to
movement,
see
I'll
it,
do what I
so
can.
we would like
But
to
we
share the
had
pain
to
with
see
you.
it. Why
that's
should
fair.
you have to?
That's
Why
fair.
should you?
No, that's
on
fair.
this? Can Spike
Yeah.
get in on this too? Can we put Spike in a dress?
Ooh.
No.
All right,
no.
so we have promised that if the Timms get to their goal, their GoFundMe goal, that the ladies here on this panel are going to buy some Goodwill prom dresses and frolic in a stream or a pond.
Okay.
Just like
Look, I'm from
Dr.
Indiana, it'll be a sewer runoff, but the feeling's the same.
The feeling is the same. So in case you have not seen this, I'm sorry to do this to you, but you have to see this. We had to watch, and now you may check off river dancing from your bingo card, because here's Dr. Verena Brown, child abuse doctor extraordinaire, frolicking in a river in a dime
Don't
store
forget, she's
prom
also
dress.
a sex doctor. She's
Yes.
a
She's a
pediatric
sexologist.
sex doctor.
Good Lord, have
Not in
mercy.
Hey, what's that? Wait. What's a pediatric sex doctor?
We are not
Her.
sure. Her. She's a
She's a
pediatrician,
sexologist or
but she's
whatever?
also a sexologist. It's exactly the kind of background you want for your
The
pediatrician,
sentient
right?
anatomy.
Did you know that your body can feel things?
Yes, that's what she wants you to know. Your body can feel things and sense things. She has ruined scrunchies for all of us because she has shown she likes to talk about female anatomy using a scrunchie.
Don't do the scrunchy video again.
Yeah,
No, I won't. I
I'm still
won't.
Well, that ruined both of
traumatized.
them for me.
I still haven't lost it, and I refuse.
Yep.
That's bull crap. That's
Oh.
bull crap. Remember,
Carrie, we're losing you. I don't know why you're roboting out, but we're losing you. I think you must be in a bad spot wherever you are. I can't hear you very well. All right. Here we go.
So
She froze.
anything of concern for abusive treatment in that visit, the one visitation session that you supervised?
Not with the mother.
Well, I mean, are you saying that the father putting the child in the bouncer was evidence of abuse?
No. The only I noted of concern was that the father wasn't as engaged with the child, that he didn't really hold the child. The mother was a lot more, appeared to be bonded to the child.
Oh, good Lord.
You mean like almost every family?
You mean like every
Right.
baby who nursed ever?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's never comfortable doing a visit with somebody watching anyways, so it's hard to, off of one visit.
My firstborn wouldn't let me put her down. She cried when Dad picked her up. Like, it happens.
Wait, was I abused because my mom hugged me at a higher ratio than my father?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what, yes, Spike.
Preemptively go after your parents.
I think we should definitely go after your parents and take you away from them immediately.
Well, my father's gone, but I can certainly, I guess I can just trash his memory then. If nothing else, right?
True. You can now just start labeling him an abuser.
He did hug me and love me, but you could argue, but certainly like, you know, hugging affection type stuff, I'd say my mother somewhat higher. So yeah, no, he abused me, and I'm glad he's not here.
You didn't even
See
know
how angry I am about it.
To see how mad you are about it.
See how mad
the
I am right now.
The state has now educated you, Spike. You now
Thank
know.
you, state of Georgia.
It's not easy to determine behavior.
Okay. And so
your
and I believe you
observations are
spoke to
crap.
Mr. Hood regarding some
Right.
of the interactions that you and your office had with who had custody of Jameson after he was moved out of foster care, right?
They had placement of Jameson.
Okay. And
She
so
looks
you
like
did
she's about to cry.
many walkthroughs of their
It's awesome.
home, right?
I went to their home a couple times, yes.
Okay. Do you remember about how many times?
Her dad didn't
3 or
hug
4.
her much either.
And was one
was
of
also
those
abused.
times kind of in the early morning hours?
I did not know.
Okay, so you
Wiggle,
did not
wiggle,
do any of
itch,
the early
cough.
morning visits, but you knew that there were some, you know.
She was just adjusting her underwear waistband, I think.
Yes,
Which-
yes, you
Did you
see
see
it.
that? She was
'Cause
like,
it's
something's
up
digging.
to under her boobs.
Something's
she's like,
digging. We've
Okay,
been-
I would rather
Jennifer has
imagine
this
her in
great.
granny panties than a thong, so I'm okay with this.
God. Jennifer's got this great saying when she tells her kids when she knows they're lying to them that they're wiggle, wiggle, itch coughing. Stop wiggle, wiggle, itch coughing.
It's a real thing. They will move. They will look around. They will itch something. They will cough. It's real. And now
This
you
is
can
what
see
she's
it.
doing. She's like adjusting her underwear. Like, well, I don't know what's good. She's just wiggling in that
In
chair.
the
Yeah, no,
wee
she's
hours
very
of the
uncomfortable.
morning, so to speak.
Uncomfortable.
I know that they were doing a welfare check, but that was all I knew.
Okay. But there was no concern that was prompting the welfare check, right?
That was a conversation held by other people. I found out after the fact.
Who were those other people?
I believe Lindsay was involved. I think that there had been some discussion with CASA that would prompted that concern.
Do you remember who the CASA representative was?
Penny.
Okay. So did you have any other and then I'm sorry, you said that your involvement in the case terminated in August of 2022, is that right?
August 4th of 2022 is when the defects case closed officially, but custody was given to the grandparents on July 28th of 2022, which would essentially end our interaction.
Okay. And you and the department opposed the closing of the case, right?
We did.
On what basis?
We felt that they were going around to get defects out of the picture.
Okay. I mean, on what basis, like what bad things were they doing to put Jameson in danger?
The department was against closing the case.
And that's what I'm asking you,
position.
why the department was against closing the case.
Why though?
We felt like we wanted to continue.
Spike, you're laughing.
Does that qualify as an evasive answer if you make a statement that has nothing to do with the question that was just asked?
It does.
Yep.
Has that already been checked? Because
I don't think it has.
Okay, I don't remember what you already had checked, so I have an incomplete bingo card here. But
No, you're right. Evasive answers. Okay, so here's what we have checked. Blink rate anomaly, what a bitch, defensive body language. I'll give you evasive answers for sure. Free space, Spider-Man meme, hair talk, didn't do nothing, river dancing, Yeah, and that's where we're at. We have left sidebar, dumpster moment, state lies. For reference, dumpster moment means, do we have a moment in this case that reaches the J Hatch throwing Jesus in the dumpster moment? Because that was it for us. We lost our minds when J Hatch threw the consecrated host in the dumpster in the Maya Kowalski case. I think we reached it last time. We reached it last time. What was it? What was it that they did?
I can't remember. I was trying to think today.
No, I do remember. What was it? I made a short out of it, for God's sake. Oh yeah, she said that she she said she knew that they were risking the baby becoming a paraplegic.
Yes.
And yet
T10, T11.
And yet they kept passing the baby around, no special instructions, sent the baby home with foster care with no instructions about broken bones, broken backs.
Yeah.
That was it last time, right? Get squunched. That's still out there. Get squunched. Squunched is a word that was used on the stand, if you recall, Spike. They said that the baby got squunched.
It was the Timu Sally Fields.
Yes. The
baby got squunched.
Drunk or high witness. That was always checked off during Verena Brown's testimony. I'm very disappointed we haven't had someone as drunk or high as her again. Yeah. Thug judge moment. That's when the judge goes off on somebody. The C word, which has not been dropped yet today, but there's still time, and she's cooking. The simulation does not disappoint. You'll know it when you see it. We had appropriate loving parents is still out there. Meg's blood pressure meds stop working. Flux hates prosecutor. Prosecutor earns Megan's hate. Not yet today. I mean, the crooked bun isn't that bad. Fake words. I love it when they come up with fake words. What was variable, squunched,
and
variable,
point cent.
Megan snorts, conflicting testimony, state lies, which really should just be checked off as the free space. But
I was going to say that's like a second free space.
It is. It's like it is like a second free space. It's true. Oh God, who's after this woman? Who testifies after her? Do we know?
I can't remember.
All right, I'll have to look it up.
Is anyone else getting flashbacks to Clueless when Char explains that Spain could be anywhere?
That what could be anywhere?
Spain could be anywhere. In conclusion, Spain can be anywhere.
They really do have a difficulty, you know, they really do. All right. Before we start this again, make sure that you guys have your that you've hit the like button, that you've subscribed, that you are using super tips. If you they're pinned to the top of the chat, and if you don't know what a super tip is, let me remind you. Thanks for the 5, Rylan.
I usually super tip Nick, but that loser is busy with legal stuff or whatever. I am trying to narrow down what makes Megan and Guest laugh to improve my super tip prowess.
Cunt.
Ah! Well, the C word has been dropped. You may now go to your.
Okay.
That's what a super tip is. Look, I can take no responsibility for what's on the super tips. These are not my words. Okay. These come directly from the chat, and I make no apologies. I can't apologize for them. They are what they are.
That one got me good.
All right, well, that was the C word in question.
That was the C word in question.
Right.
So we can at least check off a bingo. Rickles64, thanks for the 5.
With those eyelashes, I am certain it tickles the inside of her belly button when she blinks.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, they're not great. They're not great. All right. We also have Debbie Baker, who gifted 5 Megan Fox memberships. Thank you so much, Debbie. I appreciate you. And we love you. Okay. Before we get back to the testimony, I've been sitting here for an hour and a half, and you know what that means. Everybody on the panel gets to take a 3-minute and 30-second bathroom break because I need one. So everybody go.
She's streaming live, just killing the game. Sipping coffee like it's her middle name. A whiskey splash in her chai tea brew. but now she's squirming, doesn't know what to do. The chat is lit, emojis abound, but her legs are shaking, she feels the countdown. She's got a crowd watching her sway, but nature's call says she can't stay. BRB, gotta fly to the throne. Bathroom break, it's a live stream zone. Don't pause the stream, don't shut it down. She'll be back serving slay in this virtual town. She's a queen with a mug in hand, one espresso shot and she's taking a stand. But the coffee train has come full stop. It's an awkward dance, she's got a hop. The comments roll, where'd you go? Someone says, guess the drinks did flow. The struggle's real, the time is need. Even YouTubers have bathrooms, dear. BRB, gotta fly to the throne. Bathroom break, it's a live stream zone. Don't pause the stream, don't shut it down. She'll be back serving slay in this virtual town. Gotta fly to the throne. Bathroom break, it's a live stream zone. Don't pause the stream, don't shut it down. She'll be back serving slay in this virtual town.
All right, we're back. We're back. Okay, thank you everyone for giving me a minute or three. Jennifer's almost back. She's almost back. You almost made it with your new coffee or tea or whatever. All right, I hope everybody got what they needed.
So that song, did someone do that for you, or is that an AI song, or?
I wrote that with AI. Isn't that fun?
That's great. And that was performed by AI or someone?
Yes.
That's more fun.
I know, isn't it good? Isn't it amazing? Oh,
It's
you
both
should
amazing
see some
and
of the.
terrifying, yeah.
It is amazing and terrifying. It makes streaming so much easier, though, as far as more entertaining for the crowd. You know, I mean, it really does. I write a lot of songs based on cases that I'm covering. And I'm sure there will be one for this one too. We're probably going to call it Squunched, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But there have been some really good ones out of AI. Like it amazes me. It really does.
Megan.
Suno.ai. Yes.
Salt and pepper, squunch it.
Squunch it.
We live in a world where we can make that in like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm
Isn't
not
it
sure
amazing?
if
I'm
that's-
okay with Skynet now.
Yeah.
I made that whole thing this morning, like in 10 minutes, like with the video and everything. Because the video I can just get from Pixabay, like stock videos, you know, that they just let you use copyright free. So yeah, it took me like 10 minutes. Rob, thanks for the 10. Oops, wrong video on recent super chat. Bingo card hair discussion opportunity was day 5 around 50 minutes. Voir dire about Sleepy Eye's job title. Blonde court reporter, glasses and hair pulled back with beret. I'm Mr. Beret in court. Oh my God. I'm going to have to go back and look because that sounds amazing. How did I miss a beret in court? That's ridiculous. You said day 5. I'm writing this down so I can go look.
Maybe it
50
was
minutes.
maybe it was Sharon Fox, the DA. You know, she had that little sparkle clip. Isn't that a beret?
I don't think it was the sparkle clip. A beret is like a whole different thing. It's a French hat.
Oh.
I mean,
it was it the one where I was like, oh my God, what is she wearing
what
on
is
her
that
head
thing?
in
I don't
court?
think so. That wasn't day 5. That was like day 8. All right. Here we
What day
go.
are we on?
We're on day 9.
You'll notice during fashion discussions, I become very quiet. Because the reason I'm presentable is because I have a wife. And
This is what you get when you get on a panel full of women, though. You're gonna have hair talk.
You said that, but I just assumed like, and did you see her hair? I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna talk about hair.
No hair talk for Spike.
No, he jumps in
Gonna-
and he's like, if she had a Dyson Airwrap, she would look glorious. She would have so much more volume. It's the root spray, then the gel, then the scrunch out the crunch.
No.
You guys are killing me. All right, here we go.
We're waiting to see what this trial would hold. We felt like the child was with a relative, so to move from one relative to the next, it was just not our stance. We wanted to keep our case open.
Well, I mean, had you observed any injuries or
Well, why
maltreatment
though?
to Jameson Timms?
No.
Okay. Had you observed any bad conduct on the part of Brady or Carrie Timms?
I didn't observe them with the child often. It was on the basis of wanting to keep the child up.
Because that's
And
how you
keep the
get your
case open.
funding.
God, the facial expressions on this woman.
I know. I'm sitting here like just.
I mean, was
trying
it a
to
result
control
of you
myself and
observing
not say I
anything
won't
about
say
Jameson's
it.
condition
Flix and I were
that
like, "Please don't
would
say
lead
the C
to
word again."
needing to keep him as a dependent of the state?
We weren't ready to reunify with the parents.
Well, and that was because this case was still open, right?
And we had concerns.
What other concerns did you have other than that the case was open?
We had concerns that they were non-accidental injuries.
Well, right, that's the case. And so, but those concerns were based on what you had been told by medical providers. Were they any basis? What I guess I'm asking is if you made any observations about Jameson Timms or his family that you can tell the jury, I was worried about the safety of this child.
Not beyond what the medical reports were.
Okay, so your entire basis for pursuing
There's the
the
doctors.
defects case, keeping Brady and Carrie Timms away from their child, was what the medical providers told you?
Yes, that was why the child was in care. Those issues had not been resolved. So we wouldn't send a child home if those issues weren't resolved.
Okay.
All right. I hate to do this, but I have to because ChatGPT has been working very hard all day to give us this next image that I'm about to pull up on the screen. I know I said from the beginning that this woman looks a little bit like a Dr. Seuss character, which last week, this is what ChatGPT did for us with the Dr. Seuss. But this week, I've had like a different feel, still Dr. Seuss, but it may be a specific character. And I don't know. I think we nailed it.
Nailed it.
I think we nailed it. Speaking of AI, Spike, I mean, look at how fast this happened. This happened in like 5 seconds. ChatGPT could turn her into the Grinch.
I feel
Amazing.
like I'm watching, I forget which one of you mentioned Skynet. I feel like I'm watching Terminator play out, but it's so entertaining that I'm like,
We're like,
all gonna die, but it's
We're
fun.
all gonna die, but
Yeah.
it's at least we're gonna have fun in the beginning part. Like this part is really fun with learning how to
We're
do
the
this stuff.
comedy people that are playing as the Titanic goes into a dumpster
Yeah,
fire.
it's like gallows humor. I guess you might as well join him. Brian, the guy who that does my scheduling,
Yeah.
whenever he has a hard time reaching me for like the better part of a day, he will then send me a link to like a 4-minute long blues song about how he can't get in touch with me, and it's always a new song, new AI, and I'm like, hey, this is a good use of scarce energy, huh? But yeah.
I'm addicted to Suno AI too, so I totally understand. Well, that just gave me a great idea. Next time my husband doesn't answer the phone, I'm sending him a song about him not answering the phone.
But again, when you say those issues, do you have any independent information that you can share with the jury about these concerns, or are you just going off what you were told by medical providers?
I'm just going off what I was told by medical providers. We would never put a child in a situation where if they were unsupervised and the parents could re-injure them, I wouldn't put a child in that situation, which is why we do supervised visits.
Would it surprise you if the medical providers had testified that it wasn't their decision to remove the child, that was solely a matter of DFAC's discretion?
No.
Why would that not surprise you?
No. We are provided the information. If we're told that a child has a fracture on their 8th, 9th, and 10th vertebrae and, a laceration under their tongue, those are non-accidental injuries. We call the judge, we explain to the judge, these are the findings of the medical provider, and the judge grants us custody. It's not their job to take custody. That's ours, but we have to go off of the information that we're provided.
Okay. So you never looked at any of the x-rays, did you?
I personally did not.
Okay. You never looked at any pictures that Dr. Bowder did not take, right?
I looked at the healing x-ray on the visit in.
And why? You're not a medical expert.
Okay. Did you
Seems
look
to
at
me that
anything
her
else?
looking at them means nothing.
Okay. No further
Yeah.
questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That's like me looking at them.
Miss Law,
Yeah.
anything else of this week?
Yeah. I mean, she already said she's not a doctor. She doesn't have any medical expertise. So then what is she doing looking at x-rays?
Yeah, my
Can she
my
read
wife
them?
took our dog into a vet, and she walked in, and there was this, saw the X-ray, and there was this giant black hole where the stomach was, and she's like, "Oh no!" And she's on the phone with me, and she's like, "I have to go," and she was so worried. She thought, she about to be told there was stomach. It was gas. That's just air. But she didn't know that. She didn't know a giant black thing that she thought, oh, it's that's the ball of death in my dog, and it wasn't. It was gas. It's looking at the medical records for most of us means absolutely nothing.
But she should know, and we misspeak sometimes. Sometimes we might, and it's nerve-wracking being on stand, but you should know if the baby that you have custody of, that you're so worried about, and you don't want the parents to have him, you should know if he has 3 places broken in his back or not. That's crazy to get ribs versus vertebrae. It's like, don't know, don't care is really her mentality.
Yeah, and you're seeing the Kafka-esque part of this where, they're the ones who decide, and this is how bureaucracy works. They're the ones who decide if there's an unexplainable injury or something non-accidental injury. But then we're the ones who decide whether the child should be kept or not, and that it gives everyone just enough responsibility to continue moving forward with doing all the actions they need to take to get federal money. But no actual responsibility, not enough of a holistic part of the role to be able to go, yep, I'm responsible for this. Isn't that incredible how that works?
Yeah.
Dibs on a Solzhenitsyn style Georgian archipelago story. Just saying, if I'm going to write it with ChatGPT,
Yeah.
This is awful.
Or a blues song.
Well, yeah, it might be more of a Weird Al thing now that I think about my
Mr.
level
Hood.
of talent.
Miss Bernard. Okay.
All right. So she's done. Hey, it's only 10:49. I think that means we get to start the next witness.
It's Lindsay Bray.
All right, Lindsay Gray. And who's she? She's a DFACS person too?
This witness be excused.
Yeah.
She DFACS too?
Remember,
Okay,
they've mentioned her a few times. Some
Mm-hmm.
of the decision making was Lindsay's.
Oh, we're gonna like her. I can tell.
I wasn't really doing a lot. I saw the child one. Yeah, this is past the buck.
This isn't more. I don't have enough Spider-Man memes on the bingo card for this. Dang it. All right, here we go.
How are you employed, Ms. Bray?
Yes, I work for the Division of Family and Children's Services with the Supervisor Mentor Unit.
Okay. And can you explain what that is? I don't know that we've heard that one yet. So what is that one?
Yes, so the
is so
Supervisor Mentor Unit is with field
Can you
operations.
pause for 1 second?
We cover.
I'm sorry. I like how it started. How are you employed? And because it's also a rhetorical question. Like, why do you have a job? Like, and that it's almost like I wish I wish I had watched this before we put it up, because we should have just like had that little segment at the end of the video too. So after watching this, then we get to review like the double meaning to that question of
Yeah.
How are you employed? Why do
How
you
are you even employed?
How do you
How
even
are
have
you?
a job?
How do you even have a job? What would you say you do here?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I am liking the continuity because first we had Blossom, now we have 6. So I'm kind of here for it.
I'm not real happy with the dangly, sparkly earrings for court. Yeah, it's just not a great court look. But all right, at least she curled her hair.
The 3 different districts for the state of Georgia. So we have 3 different units within our section, and my unit covers all of North
she's a
Georgia. So
multiple
really
bracelet
any
person.
county that is above Bibb County, Macon, outside of our metro county. So Fulton, Cobb, DeKalb, Clayton,
I
and
didn't have that much stuff on
So
my wrist.
every other county I cover.
Okay. And so what is the supervisor mentor unit?
Yeah, so the supervisor mentor unit, we are assigned supervisors, and we go in and help them perfect not only their leadership skills, but also help enhance their overall skill set when working with families.
And how long have you been with DFACS?
All right, I'm calling it now. This is a fall. We're wearing a fall. You know what a fall is, ladies? No. Okay.
No.
Well, so she has hair thinning problems, right? All of this hair is not hers. It starts about, let me get my pencil. Here we go. Let's get some like a brighter color so you can see. All right. A fall begins right about here, where it's
like one of those headbandy extension things.
that has hair extensions on it. And then this part in the front over here, this is real hair right here. And then all of the rest of this, all of this, this is all a fall. This is not real hair. Just let you know.
Still chose magenta as her lip color.
So in her yeah.
I'm just
Her
here
job
getting
is
ideas.
totally, like,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
no. Her job's made up. She mentors supervisors. So you're a supervisor, like you just
A
you're the
supervisor mentor?
Supervisors, yeah.
Did
For
you
leadership.
guys catch, though, remember the other day when they were asked about what's a PPH, and they're like, remember I told you
Oh
they
yeah,
like
yeah. When she
using-
was making
they
the
love
yes.
knowing something that makes
you
them
don't
feel
know.
important. Like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, let me explain to you what my job is. It's like, lady, you're over supervisors. It's not.
But
that
this does
special.
sound like
You're
a
a
fake
supervisor.
job.
It does sound like a fake job. It's just another job. She made I
is a
looked
fake
it
job.
up. She made
Yeah,
$65,447 in 2024.
Heifer doesn't even have blue paint. I trust Judson Welcher better than I trust this chick. I mean, at least his made-up job involves playing with paint.
That's fair.
Going on 15 years.
15 years in
And
a fake
have you received
job.
training to become, in being in the supervisor mentor unit?
I have.
Supervisor mentor unit.
Yes, I hold
She's
a
high. This one's high.
certification in
This one's
leadership.
high.
Oh boy.
Organizational leadership.
one's
What
high.
was that? What was that eye? What was the eye movement there? What?
This is weed. She 100% is high, and she
Supervisor mentor
100%
unit.
smoked
I have.
marijuana. 100%.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah,
guarantee
that's the
this.
look
I
I make
hold
when I'm like,
a
oh crap, did I have a full gummy or a
certification
half a gummy?
Yep.
No,
I don't know
she
how.
knows
Like
how,
she
yeah,
grabbed the
okay.
wrong vape pen.
I think we have drunk or high witness. I think
That
I mean look,
explains the bracelets. We
She
Explain the
100%
bronzer.
is a pothead. I guarantee it.
well, hey, listen,
All
if you
right.
have a fake job
Recognize.
for 15 years that's guaranteed by the taxpayer, why not show up high every day?
why
What's your job?
not?
Exactly.
I supervise supervisors. What's that mean? I don't know. I don't know.
She'll
I
probably
don't
get
know.
promoted. I mean, you know.
I don't
She probably
know.
has like a Pinterest board full of those quotes like live, laugh, love. And she's like, I go around and I show
She
people
has
how
a
to
paint
live, laugh,
studio.
and love.
Live,
She
laugh,
also has a
love.
paint studio.
I like walking into government workers' offices or into their kiosks or whatever, and it'll have all this really like, I don't even want to say passive aggressive, but like very aggressive wording where it'll be like, your inability to schedule your time does not constitute an emergency on my part. And I walk in and there's this, it's like a whole like demotivational, like, hey, why are you even in here? And I'm like, you just want me to know you hate me before we even talk, right? Like, and
Hey, they're
I
more
feel like
honest
this
than the
lady
DMV.
has that, but with like weed leaves on it.
With marijuana.
100%. 100%.
Well, I don't know. We didn't show him this meme that was made last week of Verena Brown, but pretty close.
I mean, that one I could tell. I could tell.
With her, yeah, I couldn't tell what she was doing. This one, 100%, she grabbed the wrong vape pen this morning.
I'll just have to trust
crystals in her house.
I'll just have to trust
So
you.
many.
I did not. Well, look, Fox used to work at a weed shop. She knows. She knows.
Yeah, okay. Then you, you worked in a weed shop. I was a severe drug addict for many years. So similar levels of expertise.
It's a Venn diagram of who knows these things.
Yeah, there's significant overlap. It works at a vape shop, like irretrievable drug
Frequents the vape shops. Yes, it's all the same, really.
Leadership, organizational leadership coaching. I also have a master's in social work from the University of Georgia and a bachelor's in social work from Jacksonville State University.
Right. Have, other than your position that you have in the supervisor mentor unit, have you had any other roles in DFACS over the years?
Yes, I have. So I was a case manager in Hall County for 4 years. I was a supervisor in Hall County for 2 years and an administrator over foster care, the permanency unit, for another 2 years in Hall County.
When you become involved with a particular office, is there a reason why?
So for this particular instance, it was what we call a specialized assignment. So sometimes we will get called in from either county directors, district directors, or regional directors to come in and help out with a specific county for numerous different reasons. For this one, there was transition within the office, and so I was called in on a special assignment.
Was it for a particular case, or was it just to assist the county?
To assist the county in providing supervision to case managers.
Now, were you ever involved with a case involving Jameson Timms?
Yes.
All right. What was your role in working in that case?
So I provided supervision for the case manager that was overseeing the case. And while I was providing supervision, she was promoted to a supervisor. And so while she was in training, I stepped in and assisted directly with some of either making the appointments, making collaterals, here and there.
Okay.
Things that would happen with a case manager.
And you mentioned collaterals. What is that? Can you tell them?
Wiggle.
So collaterals is making phone calls. So whether it be doctors, daycares, school, different family members, could be neighbors. Just
I want this question asked. Is the reason you're high because you have to numb your soul when taking children from loving homes and adopting them out to justify your budget? Yeah, I would like to hear that. Are you so high right now because you can't sleep at night because of the work you do?
Hey, Megan, I also I have a thought that kind of just hit me, to be honest. She said she was kind of called in like special assignment. Well, this also happened in the Hernandez case. I really believe they bring a specific individual in when they know they're doing wrong. Like, it's wrong to take kids away, in my opinion, even in a lot of the reasons they do in Georgia. If a parent's living in a hotel, they will take a child away. I think that's wrong because they're providing they're
but they
providing
don't take them away from homeless people. They don't take children from homeless people who are literally living on the street.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Remember, Georgia, Commissioner Candace Brose got in trouble because they were housing kids in hotels. When we were still foster parents, we would get emails asking us, hey, you'll get extra per diem for this kid. He's been in a hotel for 2 weeks. We really want him out of the hotel. You get extra per diem for that. So they're taking kids
his own
away.
Parents couldn't live in a hotel
Yes,
with him.
that is 100%
That's crazy.
fact. And I think that these Lindsay Brays and these Ashley Smiths for the Hernandez case, they get called in because they're probably easier to control. They don't want all of their DFACS workers knowing, hey, we're illegally stealing this kid. There's actually no reason for them to be removed. There's no drug use. There's no abuse. And I think they call in special people because they can control them.
Do we know if these
that actually makes a
higher
lot of
up people
sense.
have children? Because she reminds me of Oprah, like telling everyone in the early 90s, early aughts, how to be a great mother when the woman has not one child.
Mo, I will be honest, the majority of DFACS workers do not have children. And some that were on the Hernandez case, we had heard rumor, we could never get truth, that they didn't have custody of their kids. One individual did not have custody of her children. Yeah, so it's the ones that I had met, no, they did not have children.
That tracks, because I feel like they behave in a way that is so far from parental concern that I can't imagine they could have children. I just can't.
That makes sense. Like, how could anyone do this? But especially if you have children, you go home, you're, loving on your children, and you go, well, got to go steal children from
somebody
other
else's kids. Well, also, you would also know things that would be in contradiction to what the doctors were saying. For instance, if I'm a caseworker and some dumbass doctor says that infants don't have the mobility to put a hand in the mouth, I go, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
All infants suck on their fingers. Don't be ridiculous.
That's what I mean about these special people. I think there are good DFACS agents out there who probably started out meaning well, but I think that some just do as they're told. And I really do believe they bring in special people to do special assignments. They're told this is a high case profile. When we went public with the Hernandez, that was a high case profile. They brought in a new special supervisor.
Well, these are two ideologies that can't coexist. This woman believes intrinsically that the government, you share custody of your children with the government.
Right.
Yep. Whereas every parent is going to say, you're not paying my bills, I'm actually paying taxes to you. So unless you want to chip in for college, this is going to be my kid, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
good point.
There's two diametrically opposed things where she feels like it's everyone's job, and she's not had a child, so she doesn't know how easy it is to turn around and they get hurt, or even with the best of care they have an accident, and the absolute terrifying feeling of taking your child into the ER and wondering if you're going to bring that child back out.
Yep.
What's the over under that she's even married?
Or that are directly.
No rings.
They all.
She's got her left hand up right now. I see no rings.
ring.
Related with the family,
She's a
but
strong,
not living
independent
in the
woman.
household of either the parents or the placement in this case. So if a child is in foster care or placed outside of the home, if whomever we're talking with is not directly living in that household, they're considered.
She is high.
So it's just to help us.
She's a pothead.
like,
She has
the
3
same
cats at
rules.
home and possibly an older female roommate.
I'm getting lesbian vibes. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm getting lesbian vibes.
Definitely, if not full on, she's bi, but definitely a minimum of 3 cats, a paint studio, and a bunch of plants in her apartment.
But Flux, her girlfriend, does she have the fee mullet, or is she also wearing long hair?
Her partner is also long hair of lipstick like her.
Okay. Well, that.
Flux is also the resident. She's our resident gay. She knows these things, so we don't question her about that. Resident lesbian.
All of this is above my pay grade. Yeah.
All right.
See, if I had been captured by the state instead of having my own brain, this probably could have been me.
This could have been
I have
you.
a
Yeah.
brain.
This
Teen,
could have been you.
lesbian, it's all there. Yeah.
It's all
That's
there.
not my daughter. Not my daughter. I will go into
But I actually
Iran.
have
I
a
will
brain,
do a Sally
so I'm not this
Fields.
dumb.
You became
Wait a minute, she's my daughter too. Are we lesbian moms, Mo? Is that what happened just
Holy
now?
crap, we are going to Pride. I am bedazzling
We're
every
going
damn
to
thing.
Pride. We're
Only
going
we're
to
calling
Pride.
it normal Pride. We're
We're
gonna
going-
go with like the normal flux type people.
We're going with
Hashtag Megan's
flux.
homos.
That's right.
personally
I've
involved with
found
the Timms case.
February 2022.
And during that time, were you having direct contact with Jameson
my
and or
hair's
his
better than
family?
hers, so.
No.
Much better.
At what point did you
It's real.
become involved in having contact with them?
I made my first contact when we were asked to go to Boston in April. Of
Oh, she's the one who went to Boston.
And,
Oh,
her
in
and
the
the
high
other lady
heels.
definitely had
What
a
do you
drunk
recall?
experience.
I guess you went on the trip to Boston.
I did.
All right. And what do you
In her
recall
spiked high
about
heels.
Being there at that appointment?
Yes, so the appointment was scheduled for 1:00. We had a difficult time just locating where the actual appointment was. We were given an address. And when we arrived at the building the address that we were given, we were notified that that wasn't the correct place. We got in contact with Boston Medical. We were informed that Dr. Hollick did not have an appointment by any of the last names on the case. We then contacted Mrs. Timms, just trying to find out where the building were. They were also trying to locate where the building was. We finally were able to locate Dr. Hollick's office. When we got there, he asked us who we were.
I guess without going into what he said, I guess what happened upon your interacting with
Dr.
him?
Alcoholic?
What do you recall?
Is there an
There was some
alcoholic here?
hostility. I had to provide the paperwork that said that we had custody, that we were current temporary guardians over Jameson. At that time, we were told that one of us was allowed back at the appointment. Then there was an exchange that I was unable to hear, and then we were notified that we were denied access during Carrie Timms and Brady portion of the appointment, and that we were only be allowed to see Jameson's due to HIPAA purposes.
Duh.
And let me back up just a minute. So you said that there was an interaction that you could not hear. What was happening at that moment?
We were all standing like kind of in the lobby. It was like it wasn't really even a lobby. It was like is in front of an office building. And we were exchanging like who we all were. And then there was an exchange that, again, I couldn't ever hear. I don't know what was said. But Dr. Hollick had said or whispered something to Miss Timms at that time. Okay. And that's when we were informed
Is she implying that there's like some
allowed
secret collusion?
the doctor's appointment with.
They both tried to do that. You remember the last one was like, and they were whispering and we weren't allowed to hear them. And then
But
we weren't
notice
allowed
that
in.
She called Mrs. Timms. Notice that she said they were also trying to locate the building. So that
Right.
means Carrie answered her phone and said the same thing. We're trying to locate the building. So if they were really trying to lie or hide or be sneaky, why would Carrie even answer the phone?
Right. They were
Yeah,
all
and they-
lost, apparently.
Wouldn't be privy to Carrie's exam. That is, again, that's private medical information. If my child and I have, let's say, God forbid, my child develops CRPS and the state had issues with it, they wouldn't go into my doctor's appointments for my CRPS.
Right.
Because it's none of their damn business.
Right. They really just hate being told they're not invited.
Yes, they want
to
control
things.
over everything. So
It's
someone,
petty tyranny. Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. So just
Look at
the
how put
doctor-
out she is by this.
Yeah,
We weren't allowed.
She makes it sound like it's some back alley creepy doctor's place.
Miss Timms or
Okay. And were you ever allowed into the examination room?
We were. So I was actually the one that went back. I waited 45 minutes in the lobby before
Notice
Dr.
how
Hollick
slow
came
her blinking
and
is. When she
got
blinks her eyes,
me.
how
He asked if I
slow.
had
It's
had
not
a
a
COVID
normal
test within 48 hours
She's
of that
high,
appointment. I said
so.
no, that we were unaware that we needed a COVID test at that time. He did ask who was ever sitting at the front desk. I was eventually allowed back, and the appointment lasted maybe 18, 20 minutes.
And that was when you were actually in the examination room?
Yes.
Did you observe the examination of Jameson?
Yes.
Okay, what did you observe happen?
So what I witnessed was asked to take pictures of the exam. Jameson was laid on the medical bed. There was no blood work drawn. There was like a tickle of the feet, Jameson's feet, some pressing down on his stomach.
She thinks all medical
And
care is x-rays and blood work.
That was really
Has she
all
ever been
that
to a
happened.
medical
It was
doctor?
it was not a
18 minutes
typical
is actually
appointment
quite
that I
long.
had ever seen from a doctor's appointment. And like I said,
Well,
this is
how
after
many different
45
types of
minutes me
appointments is she
being
going
in the
to?
lobby.
If she giggled at the tickling of the feet, she'd have a downright laughing hootenanny at my neurologist appointments. Like it's
Yeah.
what does she think a medical appointment is?
I don't know. And how about where she said the pressing down of the abdomen and stuff? It's like, yeah, have you never been to the doctor? Because they
Been to a
do that. Have you
Well,
ever
you
been
do
to
that
a
all the
doctor?
time.
She may not
I
know
have
what primitive
MS, so
reflexes are.
Whenever I go to see my MS specialist, they go through this whole host of things.
The strength.
Squeeze my hand and push. They'll put their hands on the front of my leg and say push forward, and then on the back and say pull back, and stand up and do all these different things. She would just be
Walk
losing
on
it.
your toes. Yeah, well, she's
Yeah,
never seen anything like this before.
Imagine
Jim,
if she found me mid body spasm on a bad leg day. Just hooting and me screaming because a wind is blowing by. I mean, I'm gonna need her as my emotional support. See you next Tuesday. For when I'm feeling bad about myself, but I could feel worse. Like I'm feeling super Catholic.
Jim says they didn't perform a live vivisection. There was no offering to Moloch, so not a real examination.
Fair.
There we go.
She doesn't recognize it because there was no drinking of blood from a newborn infant. That's why she doesn't recognize it. Where were the guys in the druid capes?
Okay, Flux, I have a question.
Yes.
Because she is maybe a little bit on the ganja, is that why she picked Cheetos as her foundation?
Yes. You think
Okay.
that
She is a little
you can
yellow.
mask? Yeah, sometimes people try. Like, I don't know why, but you think that putting on makeup actually like masks things, and it's like, no, you shouldn't. But to be honest, this is her normal makeup every day. She's a caker. She's a caker.
A caker.
Oh.
Yep, she's a caker.
Oh, don't do that with your tongue, ma'am.
Oh, I think we got sex scandal face. Oh, I think we just got it.
Yes.
All right, let's look. Let's look at we may not have quite the
Gotta do a
downturn.
comparison.
We got to do the comparison. All right, here. All right, here it is. What do we think?
She's not capable of doing the downward lips because her face is already like slopey downward. So
That's true. Look at the guy in the upper. It's like his. It's like his. I'm calling it.
I'm gonna call that.
I'm calling it. Yeah, we got sex scandal face, which is where is it on my bingo card? Why don't I see it?
Wait,
Did I take it off?
no,
it's the
it's lady.
Oh no, there it is. There it is. I had it on because
You've snorted, I think.
did I? I could have. I might have.
I
All
just
right.
want at least one other person to confirm you snorted.
I'm
know,
gonna
I
say
probably
yes.
did.
I'm gonna
Okay,
say
then
yes.
bingo. Then I won bingo.
Wait,
I already had bingo.
Nice.
This is
Spike.
actually I already had bingo a long time ago. Sorry. I just
This is
realized that.
really a great sex scandal face we got on Dr. Pickett, Harbin Pickett.
Pickett.
Right? That's her name?
Yeah,
Pickett?
harbinger of death, Pickett.
Yeah, harbinger of doom.
I mean, look
Macbeth.
at that. That's the best sex scandal face I ever saw in my whole life. I mean, look at it. It's perfect.
I just can't believe she's married.
Well,
Imagine
did we
coming home to
confirm that?
place.
Did we
Well,
actually
remember,
confirm that?
she asked her.
She
some
has
of
the
her
money.
patients this week. She asked, "Have you seen me on the internet?" So
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's seeing this. She sees this.
Spike, did you know that? Harbin Pickett is asking her patients if they've seen her on the internet this week.
Send all mean comments to
They've been watching this.
Gmail.
Spike, Carrie has got an influx of messages from local people who were using her as the pediatrician, who is started this mess for the Timms family. And I mean, people are leaving her office in high numbers.
Well, hey, stop helping children to get stolen. Like, I mean, stop trafficking kids. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good advice.
There's an easy fix to this. Like,
it's good advice.
Stop stealing kids, you assholes. Jen the Couch Fairy says, Spike, is this your first time on one of Megan's lives? You're adjusting very well.
No, but it wasn't. The format was different. We were just talking about one of the cases. We've never sat in on one of these. It's cattier than I thought it would be, but I'm enjoying it.
It's weaponized ADHD and bitch.
This is a bitch fest. Okay, look, we have to have somewhere to take out our frustrations and our perimenopausal rage. The perimenopausal rage has to have somewhere to go, you know?
Yeah, pray for my husband.
I did provide a release of information because I knew that we would need the medical reports once the medical exam was completed. And I verified not once, but twice that the paperwork that he needed is all he needed in order for us to receive the medical records. We did not get the medical reports from Dr. Hollick himself. We actually got it through I believe Ms. Timms' attorney later on, but it was after a few months.
That's how this goes,
Okay.
lady. Through attorneys.
So let me back up. So you were there in the room for 18 minutes. What happened after the 18
She's
minutes
upset.
in the exam?
Yeah, she's upset she didn't get it from the doctor.
She's mad she didn't get it immediately, and yet they will straight up not allow parents and make them fight in court to get access to their medical records once they're
To
under
their own
investigation.
medical record.
Their own medical records.
It's Mo, you said that, you know, they think that it's an ideology of shared custody. I would say it's actually worse than that. They think they have custody of the kids, and they kind of give you this license to parent them at their will, and they can just revoke it whenever they wish.
Yes.
I mean, for those of you that are parents, we all had that thought before we were parents, like, I'm going to feed my children only organic and no sugary cereal. And then you have 6 children and you wonder if throwing Cheerios on the floor is considered free range feeding. So, you know, but it's always the people that you see in Walmart, like the other parents, when a toddler is melting down, you know, most kind parents, I'll go up and say, hey, do you need any help? You're missing a shoe, you know, do you have that shoe? Because I've been there, done that. These are the people that are like, they should train their children better. Like, I don't understand how you could have a child, you know, act out, you know, in the store and not just go away. Don't they understand that this is a place here?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
So that's the big difference. If you've never had children, it's okay to have all these pie in the sky sort of ideals.
Thank you,
She
JKD
totally sells
Buck,
kratom on the side.
for putting her in a weed shop where she belongs. This is excellent. This is excellent.
Much happier there.
She does look happier.
You know, follow your dream, Patchouli Queen. You go be your ganja self. One love. Bob Marley yourself out.
She doesn't look out of place at all.
No, it's probably what she does on the weekends, perhaps.
But going back to what Mo just said, they, you know, they're not parents, or very often they're not parents. They go, I could do that much better. So then they put them in a hotel room or in their office. So it's you know, they were taking him to this weirdo that kept tickling his feet. So I'm going to take the kid and put him in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
You are right.
disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I would love to hear the Boston doctor, by the way. Do we get to hear from the Boston doctor?
No,
I would
Megan,
love to hear.
Families can't use him anymore. The courts here in Georgia have highly discredited him. He's been
What? Why?
It's really bad. So families can't even use him. He was actually fired from his position.
Oh, I remember this. Okay.
Because he believes vitamin D deficiency is real and you can have weak bones because of vitamin D deficiency. And all the child abuse pediatricians say he's a quack. He's crazy. All he ever does is side with the families. No, not anymore, Flux. I'm sorry. That's outdated.
This is part of like when Stephen Messner, the doctor Stephen Messner said at the Hernandez trial when he was asked, but wasn't that a low vitamin D level for Emma? And he said, not in the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
And they said, so outside of the state of Georgia, that would be considered a vitamin D deficiency. Yes, absolutely, but not in this state.
Yeah, CHOA changed their standards
That's
years
crazy.
ago. They changed it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and
they
here's
changed
my
it in a
bigger
way that allowed
question.
them to take more children from their innocent parents.
Precisely.
Yeah.
If you are seeing a lot of vitamin D deficiency in a certain area, and I don't know, your organization has child welfare in it, you think you might like take some of that government money and study
Mo,
why
there's
there
no
is
money in that. There's no money in helping find cures for kids.
Yeah.
Damn,
The
there's
metric,
not. Well, there's no money in finding cures for adults either.
all of the incentivization is based on very arbitrary metrics that are set by laws that usually were created like decades ago. And so what happens is it leads to these like absolutely ridiculous quota systems that only make sense if you realize what the perverse incentive funding structure that's in place that's leading to those like perverse outcomes. So it only makes sense once you know, oh, okay, they're trying to get a certain number of XYZ and have it go on for this period of time. Then what they do makes perfect sense. Otherwise, you're sitting there scratching your head going, why are they doing this? Why would they do it that way? Why would they say, we've decided not to close out the case because we thought it was in the interest of the children for their case not to be closed out? Like, why would they do these types of things? No, it makes perfect sense once you realize that's one of the metrics used for how much funding they get.
Yes. And discredit all doctors who go against their narrative.
Yeah.
It's just right in there.
I wish I had known back when my neurologist had said, by the way, you also have a vitamin D deficiency. And this was in my early 30s. I wish I had been able to say, no, actually, my parents are abusing me.
Yeah, right.
Is the doctor from Boston that, what's his name? Hallig or
Michael
Hallig?
Hallig.
Is he still, does he not work there anymore? Like he got fired from that position?
Yes, it's, yes, he works in for the university instead of the hospital, I believe is the situation now, which may be why his office was hard to find. He still helps families and he was helping them pro bono for a while. He has cancer. So his health is not great. You just can't use him right now. Like none of our families could use him. The Alexanders used him and he testified in their trial from 2024 that Jonathan and I went to. We had just gone public with You Are the Power with them. He testified in their trial and they were convicted.
Do you think the reason why he was fired and everything is political because he was helping these families?
Yes, the claim is he always sides with the families. But the truth is, who goes to see him? Parents with children with this condition. Parents who have this, they seek him out. And he always sides with them.
Yeah, child abusers don't generally seek out specialists,
That was like with the Maya Kowalski when she went to the actual RSD Foundation or a clinic associated with RSD. They claimed that, well, he always gives every patient, ketamine infusions.
Right.
The problem is that is the most effective known treatment for CRPS or
and who's
RSD
going
right
to
now.
that doctor? Parents with that need, with that question in mind. Does my child have a vitamin D deficiency? He also is an EDS specialist. Does my child maybe have EDS? That's why they go to him. But he's just discredited.
Maybe if the state went to them and the state was like, hey, does this baby, maybe he would side with the state for once if the state decided to use him.
True.
But he's actually, smart, so the state doesn't want that.
Right.
That's true. Also true. The state's not using any doctors that they can't get the answers out of them that they want.
Yeah.
Messner is a useful idiot.
I got that orthopedic surgeon fired because everyone that went to see him kept limping. Like it's just really, it's ridiculous. It's insanity. And you would never hear the state say, yeah, this doctor should be fired because they keep siding with us a disproportionate number of times. They
Right.
side
And
with
isn't
family.
Messner, does Messner ever side with anybody but the state?
No,
Does
he'll
Marina
eat-
Brown ever
No.
side with anybody but the state?
No,
We're hoping to
Stephen
have
Messner
breaking
will
news
testify.
about Messner very soon, by the way. But yeah,
Good.
More on that soon. We're still confirming, but that there might be an interesting
Okay.
thing.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that.
You just detailed for us.
After Jameson's portion was completed, I was informed that Ms. Timms and Ms. Bullock's portion was going to start, and that's when I had to leave the room. So I was asked to go back down to the lobby. So we had moved buildings from the original building where we all met to a different building on the medical campus.
Okay. So you were in the room, then you were asked to leave again. And then how long did you wait after you left the examination room?
Roughly 15 minutes.
Where did you go, I guess, after being in the waiting room? What happened next?
We went our separate ways because I know we had a flight that we had to catch back to Georgia.
Did you stay the night in Boston?
No, it was a very long day. We left at 2:30 in the morning and got back almost at midnight.
Now, at any point, as the supervisor on this case, were you made aware of any other doctor's visits or telehealth visits that had occurred with Jameson?
We did along the way. So he was referred, and this is prior to me.
Also,
I
why
was
is she
reviewing the
reading off
record and
her
I was
notes?
notified.
Is she
Yeah, you're
allowed to
not
do
supposed
that? I guess she's
You're
okay.
not supposed to
Rosalind.
be able to read off your notes.
Rosalind Duke
You-
was not able to be here today, but she did send me this meme. Damn, I only hide the stolen babies. It's the sandworm from Beetlejuice. Oh God, that is so funny. Thank you, Rosalind. These
Also,
people.
She says along the way, like follow-ups don't occur with complex, medical issues. Like they don't, or even with just well child visits. She's acting like, well, they actually had more appointments. You just said yourself he saw the baby for maybe 18 minutes.
They're
I'm
so
guessing-
irritated that the parents want to seek help for their baby. They're so
Right.
irritated.
They keep taking the child to doctors.
Yes.
Like,
Well, and the weird part is it's like they didn't get accused of Munchausen, right? So they didn't get accused of doctor shopping. They got accused of child abuse. And the family is saying it's not child abuse, it's an underlying medical disorder, which we're going to seek a second opinion on. Why that annoys them?
Why
It
would
makes
the
no
state,
sense
why
to
would
me.
Forsyth County DA and judge want to keep medical doctors from testifying in the Hernandez trial? It's the same thing. They literally don't want anyone to get to the truth about these kids. It's so gross.
Is there another specialist that does the, kind of same specialty that he does that he has been able to send parents to? Because I do know that in the field of, pediatric specialties, there's maybe one specialist or another. But since he's precluded from testifying right now, is there another person that families can reach out to?
So we have obtained like a list of doctors and they testify in this trial. So you'll get to hear that. And they testify, some of the same exact ones testify in the Hernandez trial. It's not the same position that Hollick holds, but that's okay. It's other doctors have been helpful. The problem is the more that families use them, the more the state will literally go after them. So it's
right, trying to dig
scary for
stuff up
them.
on them.
Yes.
Well, look, we
I
saw
love the
in
government.
Look, we saw in the Maya Kowalski trial when Dr. Goodhair was on the stand. I don't know if any of you remember me saying, oh, this was the moment he realized he'll never work in this field again.
Right.
Because when you blow the whistle on the medical community and on the bad things that they're doing, they will blacklist you. And sure enough, Dr. Corcoran is being sued by there's like a big lawsuit right now. I think it's between him and his former employer, and like they're taking away, or maybe
the truth.
Or maybe he's suing them. I don't remember which one it is, but there's a big lawsuit now because they're taking away his retirement. The man was close to retirement and he was going to, be done. And now his whole retirement is gone. So, and that's because, yes. So that's one of the reasons why he hasn't been on YouTube, because he's fighting this awful thing that's going on with his former employer. And they're going after him for blowing the whistle on J-Hatch.
Well, if there's any doctors or nurses listening, geneticists, orthopedic surgeons that happen to listen to this show, like start standing up, start doing the right thing, start helping families find the answers to their kids. If the parents are abusers, you should find that out in the medical records. It should be pretty easy to see when a real investigation is done. We need more medical people to step up and do the right thing.
Yeah. And ultimately, this is why this doesn't change until you change the incentive structures that are in place. Like if we're looking at this as like some kind of overflowing river, we have to look at the dam structures upstream that are leading to this and change them so that that's not happening anymore. And so any kind of fixes that we see at the state level, they're good. But ultimately, if they're just left there and we go, well, job is done here, ultimately, they're just going to find a way around it. And one of the changes with Ridge's law is that, when you're accused of abuse, you can get a second opinion from a certified doctor, a doctor that's recognized by the state of Georgia that's outside of that CPS system. The problem is, like Jennifer was just saying, now the state, if people keep going to a specific doctor, they go, we don't like the fact that this doctor keeps siding with the families and not with us. And it doesn't matter if the facts were on the doctor's side, if the medical evidence was on the doctor's side and not their side, they're going to start there's going to be pressure on these doctors. Sometimes you got to agree with us or else we're going to start having trouble. And so the ultimate fix here, and this is what we're working for the critical mass towards, is changing Title 4E of the Social Security Act, either eliminating it entirely, because please show me in the Constitution where it says that the federal government should be dealing with a child separation. But at the very least, if we can't at least get that done, then let's at least tie the federal funding to something neutral, like the population size of that state, or something that isn't going to lead to this kind of perverse incentive. Because you got the federal government saying, yep, every time you accuse a parent of abuse, we're going to give you X amount of money. And if it's the kids put in foster care, you get more money. The longer they're in that foster care.
Yeah, what about quotas? Do you know about quotas? Because Spike, if their number of children in the system goes down the next fiscal year, they lose a ton of funding. What they should be incentivized to do is to keep families together. Incentivize them to keep families together. That's what we should be incentivizing the state to do what they can to keep families together. Now, I don't know if that would work in the opposite way too, because it would.
That's the problem.
At the same time, though, we have in Florida right now a case where DCF refuses to remove a child that everybody can see is in danger from someone who has a history of child abuse, has had children taken away from her because of child abuse in the past in different states. And this child is currently living in a shed in Florida, a tin shed in Florida in the heat, with two people who adopted her off of Facebook, who scream at each other all day long and have drug addicts living on their property. And this we can see and has been reported, and nobody does anything about it. Nothing. So you have those cases where the child is not in school. She's 5. Not like, who knows, like what's happening there. Yeah. Her biological family wants her back, trying to open the adoption, keeps getting turned down. But at the same time, we have people doing that, taking babies away from people who are perfectly safe. So I just don't know. I don't know how to incentivize them to do the right thing is the problem, because they just don't seem to do the right thing in any scenario that they're given.
This is a problem with government in general. So when you are a part of an organization whose funding is mandatory, meaning that like all of us have to pay taxes or our life gets a lot worse. So and no competition is allowed. So any other organization, if you and I open some kind of business of whatever kind, we know that the people can choose whether or not to use our services, or to either not use any services or hire or go to someone else for those services. When it comes to the state, when it comes to the government, that's not true in either case. Not only can you not opt out of their services, or you can not take their services, but you still have to pay for them. You certainly can't create a competitor. That's called treason. And so they know they have kind of this like captive audience. And so all of the typical feedback mechanisms that would be in place to hold them accountable aren't in place. And so what ends up happening is the inverse of that. So for a CPS agency, what do they need? They need as much money as they can get, and they need at least some level of public buy-in. Well, you don't get public buy-in by solving the problem, because then the public says, all right, well, I guess you don't need this much money. So there's actually a perverse incentive in place for them to, on the one hand, take as many children from as many parents as possible, whether they're guilty of anything or not, because that's how they get their federal money. And in some states, that's how they get their state money. But at the other side, keep letting the problem get worse so that the public goes, oh my gosh, they need more money. And so it feeds into all that has to happen is that the
I never
human
looked at it
beings
that way.
that are in those positions have to completely set aside their humanity and treat these families like some kind of abstraction instead of what they are, actual human beings that they're tearing apart, whose families they're tearing apart. But as long as they're able to do that, put aside their humanity and just kind of numb their minds and move forward, that's actually ideal for them, to take as many kids as they can and also have the problem get worse and have more and more actual abuse cases.
Yeah, you're right.
The war on drugs and the war on poverty have worked out so well.
Same exact thing. When you put government in charge of something, what you're basically saying is, I want a bunch of bureaucrats to make this problem worse to ensure that they'll never lose their job.
You know what's interesting about that, Spike, also is in Georgia, I can say for fictive kin. So if a child gets placed with family or a non-blood relative that they know, they don't get the per diem that a foster parent gets.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting? Like the family who wants to step up and take care of this child, they don't get a per diem, but a foster parent does get a per diem. Now they're still in state's custody. So where does that money go that was going to the foster parent? Where does that money actually go if the child is fictive? Parents
who have been accused of abuse still have to pay child support to them. Which is crazy to me, because if you take somebody's child from you and you now have custody, the state has custody, then you bear the responsibility, state. You now pay for them. You now do all of that. There's money to be paid for them. That's the thing. It's already set aside. Then charging parents on top of it, that's crazy. That has to stop. It is not a divorce court. I'm not getting divorced from the state and you're taking me to court for custody. You took custody of my kid. You took it wrongfully. Whether you took it wrongfully or rightfully, you now owe the expense, not me.
Yeah.
How dare you take my child from me and then send me a bill?
Yeah, most government agencies are essentially violent racketeering organizations masquerading as community services, and they do just enough community service so that they can point at that and go, "Look, we stopped this from happening. Look, this we did this good thing. Please ignore all these horrific things we've done
for the safety of the children." That's all they have to say.
Yeah, I love the Helen Lovejoy argument. Won't
I can't
somebody
take
think
it.
of the children?
Yeah.
That he was supposed to have a genetic referral completed at Emory. Somewhere along the lines, that referral did not go through. So I contacted Emory in May to talk about the genetics testing. I also talked to the pediatrician, Dr. Sis, on May 10th. And he informed me that
Dr. Sith?
There was a genetic
Like a Sith
referral
Lord?
sent to Dr. Stevens in Chattanooga at Erlanger.
Okay. And so at that point, that had, I guess an appointment had been made for a geneticist.
Yes, so there was going to be one at Emory, and then there was also the one at Erlanger as well.
Okay. Now, when was the appointment at Erlanger?
Let me see. The 21st of June.
And who was the appointment with?
Dr. Stevens.
Now, who went to the appointment with Dr. Stevens?
So Miss Timms was there, and then the paternal grandmother was there, and then myself and Miss Bono, who was the case manager at the time.
And were you in the room when that doctor's appointment took place?
Yes.
Were you there for the entirety of the visit?
Yes.
During this visit, was Jameson examined?
He was.
And what did you observe that take place?
Yes.
Do you recall what all was done when you all were there?
Not verbatim. I just know after reviewing the records and refreshing my memory, there was nothing wrong. They said that he was developmentally on track.
So wait a minute. What's your objection?
She's going to start repeating a diagnosis. That's
Okay.
So without saying what,
I'll sustain the
Yeah.
objection. Don't tell what somebody else told you.
You know,
So,
maybe that is an
was Jameson the only one that was?
gun.
I think it's intentional. Now
I
that I'm
think it's
looking
an
at it from
intentional
this
side gun.
angle, I think it's intentional.
It's
Yeah, I'm
just
going to
not
go with
far enough over to be
yeah, it needs to be just a
intentional.
little further over, like half an inch so that we know it's intentional. But I think she did that on purpose because this is the camera angle and she wants the camera to get the full bun in the picture. She's thinking ahead. She's thinking ahead with her hair choices. I gotta hand it to her. I don't hate her for that, chat. I'm sorry.
Examined when you all were there?
Miss Timms was too.
Miss Timms was as well. Okay. Now, based upon this visit with Dr. Stevens, did anything change with DFAC's position regarding the case?
No.
At that point in time, was Jameson still in the custody of?
Yes. Well, he was in DFAC's custody, placed with.
DFACS,
Placed,
we have
sorry.
real custody, guys.
All right, so he was
Right.
still placed.
Don't
with
forget
at
that.
that point in time.
Yeah, she
now,
wants to
who
make sure you
are,
know that.
Renee and Scott Timms.
I believe the grandparents.
Okay. And was there a point at which that Jameson was removed from placement?
Yes, in July.
July? And what was the reason for that?
That happened through Superior Court.
Okay. And what, I guess, who got custody at that point in time? Or I guess placement or custody?
Placement was given to Mr. and Miss Timms at that point in time, that July hearing. And then the juvenile court was dismissed, I believe, in August.
And you said juvenile dismissed in August. What does that mean?
Meaning DFACS no longer had any involvement.
Okay. Did DFACS want to close the case at that point in time?
No.
Yeah,
Okay. And why?
She had to smile
We
because
were
there was no
concerned
reason for it.
about the safety.
What? Well,
They
then if
fought. Okay, so remember, you'll hear later from the in-law, but remember the sister and brother-in-law had Jameson. They were harassed by DFACS. Remember, he had to take the drug test in front of his daughter. They refused to let him urinate in a cup in another bathroom. The guy said, "You're doing it here. You're doing it now with your family, and Carrie right out here." They did not like that Carrie, through a judge, Carrie and Brady could spend as much time as they wanted with Jameson, with the in-laws present. The in-laws had other children. He is a state trooper. They were honestly being bullied so bad that the family requested that Jameson be placed with the grandparents, paternal grandparents. And DFACS did not want that at all. They did not want that.
But why did they drop it then if they didn't want to?
The
Normally-
judge, which I think was probably this judge because she's the superior judge. I can't
Oh.
remember. She
Oh.
told the family at a hearing, sign this baby over to one of your relatives, essentially to get rid of DFACS. Like, she was good in that sense. Sign the baby over to one of your relatives. I will close the juvenile case. And that made it so Carrie and Brady could visit anytime they wanted. They just couldn't be left with Jameson unsupervised. So it was a really big gift to get rid of DFACS, but they fought it. They did not want, and you'll hear later through the in-law when he testifies, that they were actually bullied by DFACS to fight this. He was cornered one day outside of court. Like, you need to try and adopt Jameson. Will you do it? And will you never speak to Carrie and Brady again?
That's crazy.
If we can make this happen. It's crazy stuff, Megan.
It's crazy.
Of Jameson, they were concerned.
Let me go back.
No.
Okay.
Who
And why is
giggles
that?
Like Ava
we were
Braun.
concerned about the safety of Jameson.
Safety of the
There were
children.
concerns that family members did not believe that there was maltreatment. Did not believe there were injuries.
They believed that their
And we were
son and
concerned
daughter-in-law
about
did
the
not
overall
abuse the baby.
situation.
And so did April Hunt, by the way. I just want to point out that their own DCF investigator also thought there were no concerns with these appropriate, loving parents.
Yes.
Well, then clearly she shouldn't have custody either. Like the whole thing is so ridiculous. It's circular logic. We don't think that the child is safe because everyone thinks that the child's not being abused.
Yes.
And so clearly the child's not safe and being abused because the child's not
Because
safe.
no one
and no one
thinks
else
the
thinks
child-
that he's being abused.
It makes
It's like
no sense. It makes no sense.
it would be like saying, okay, well, if everyone else thinks that he's being abused, well, now he's finally safe. Like it makes no sense whatsoever. Which
This
is why
is
she's
so
smiling, because
crazy.
it doesn't, like, she started giggling because it's like, yeah, you know that your job is to
You
do
know
say the
that-
This is
stupidest
going to
thing.
sound stupid, but since you asked.
Yeah, since you asked, okay, I'm high enough to tell you why I did this. Like, you know, it's
Seriously.
Okay, how much
the
would we
chat
get
is
out of
asking-
this heifer with some Doritos? Because I
The
feel like
chat-
Flux and I could do a sting.
Yeah. Yeah.
The chat is asking how much until Riverdance goal. So that the goal is 9,000. You guys are up to 2,900, 2,920. It looks like donations are still coming on in. So if you want to get over to Carrie and Brady Timms, if you want to see us river dancing, we want to hit that goal by the time we're finished with this case. And I will put it in the chat.
I will find the most dynasty prom dress that I can find in the greater Indiana area.
Yeah, I will find a crazy one too. It's going to be great. I'm looking for sequins, ruffles, bows. It's going to be a whole thing.
Shoulder
That'd be hot pink,
pads,
too.
Bob Mackie going on.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I got to do it quickly because it's about to get cold here in New York.
When the DFACS case closed.
I don't want to be breaking through the ice to make my video.
Megan, you just need to sing Let It Go. Let DFACS go. Let it go. Find some
DFACS
evidence.
have
Let
any
it
control
go.
over who could or could not see Jameson?
No.
What?
Did DFACS have any oversight to his care at that point?
No. Oh, she means in August.
Okay. Do you know the Timms outside of working with them on this case?
No.
Do you have any kind of bias towards the Timms?
No.
No. She's
Why are
having
you
it all the time.
laughing?
Do you like?
Why is she laughing?
Well, she's high, but also
That's
she's
true.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Because it's pot.
there's this. You reach a certain level of clarity when you're high, where you start to it peels away some of the cognitive barriers you put up and makes you start thinking, wow, this job really is terrible, huh? Like, you know, you can, like, because you never examine this stuff, right? Like, you kind of, and we're all kind of like this. We're in somewhat of a trance in our day-to-day lives, and it sometimes takes someone else asking us something, and we go, oh, wow, that is stupid that I do that, isn't it? And with this, she's got the addition of also being high. So meanwhile, you notice that she's crumbling under examination, not cross-examination.
Right. We
She's
haven't
being-
even got
this
to
is the friendly.
cross-examination yet.
She's asking her like basic questions, like, "Hey,
Did they teach her not to do this? Like, don't laugh when
They
we're
did
asking you
not
if you're
prep
biased.
They did not
No.
prep their witnesses well at all.
When we ask you if you're biased, please don't scoff at the jury.
are you biased?" No. Do you know
No.
that? No. Like, I mean, it's I think it's a combination of some kind of intoxication and also like kind of part of her is going, wow, this is dumb, huh? Like it's when someone else says it and you repeat it back that you go, wait, am I the bad guy? And
am I the bad guy? Are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies?
To keep children away from their parents.
No.
How
I
long
wasn't
was it
convinced
Jameson
that
was
no.
in,
That no
DFAC's
was-
custody?
I believe he came in January in our case.
Stop with the vocal fry.
I mean,
She can't help it.
he went with
He's
the
a pothead.
grandparents in July, so 7 months.
Okay. During that
I
time
don't
that
do that
DFACS
to
had
people.
custody of Jameson, did he have
Oh,
any
I like
breaks
being able
or
to see the
bruises that
gallery.
were unexplained?
No.
There's whispering going on. There's whispering
That's
in the
collusion.
gallery.
They're talking about.
They're making those two gentlemen are making fun of her right now. The one in the
Those two
blue
gentlemen
shirt.
are colluding
Fight
to
them
abuse
all.
a
Mr.
child.
Good, any questions?
We'd have the old
They're probably not
Muppets.
going to hug their
Miss
kids.
Brady,
Waldorf and
as much as
Astoria.
their wives
Well,
hug
how
them.
are you?
Wonderful, thank you.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be good.
So,
Come
so
on,
that I'm
Jason
clear,
Hood.
did you say at some point in time you became the sort of day-to-day case manager?
No, I would fill in every now and again while Miss Bono was at training, but I was never the full-time case manager, no.
Okay, were you familiar then with the case plan that was entered in this case for these two parents?
Vaguely, that case plan was created prior to me becoming supervisor.
All right, did you ever review it?
Yes.
Do you recall anything that was in it?
I believe both of the parents were asked to do a parental fitness, a psychological parenting classes, maintain stable employment and housing. I believe attend medical appointments.
It's not
And
like this
without
is your
looking
job
at
or
it
anything.
further.
To your
Right?
knowledge,
It's not
were
like
there
she
any
was the
difficulties in
supervisor.
terms of the parents cooperating
She was the
with their case?
temporary supervisors
No,
on
they
days that end
completed their
with Arby's
assessments.
2 for
They
1.
attended medical appointments.
So they were cooperative.
Yeah,
They were
they
appropriate.
did the things that we had asked them to do.
Appropriate, loving
Did they do those
parents.
things in a timely fashion?
You can check that off the bingo cards. Appropriate, loving parents. We hear this every single time these people get on the stand.
She says it's so weird. Nope, they did everything that we asked them to do.
Yeah, they did everything we asked.
Regarding the trip to Boston, if my understanding is that you've got
Did you
the
wear
order in
high
which
heels on cobblestone
evaluations
streets?
were done backwards, that Carrie, Timms, and Brittany were evaluated first, and then Jameson was evaluated after them. Am I misunderstanding that?
So that is not what we are told. I'm not sure what happened within that first 45 minutes. What I was told was that Jameson's portion had ended and that Miss Timms' portion was going to begin. And then 15 minutes later, Miss Timms and Dr. Hollick came down to where Miss Bono and I were.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened within that first 45 minutes.
Okay. And so this is a visit that takes place on the campus of Boston University. Is that correct?
Yes.
Specifically in their medical school.
Yes.
And the person that this child is meeting with at that time is both a professor at that university, as I understand it, and has privileges at that university's hospital. Does that sound accurate?
I don't know about him being a professor. I just know about the doctor portion.
Okay. And your testimony, as I understand it, is that you thought his evaluation of Jameson was out of the ordinary.
I was a little shocked that there was no blood testing or anything like that.
Okay. Well, what the doctor that you were with, what's his specialty?
So good.
It's not a trick question.
His specialty.
She is
Dr.
looking
Hollick.
for an answer like Carmen Sandiego.
My understanding is he's
non-blood
vitamin D
doctor?
deficiency doctor.
Okay.
I don't have his criteria in front of me.
All right.
Wow.
He's a published, respected medical doctor, but you don't know what field it's in. Is that your testimony?
My understanding is that he is a vitamin D deficiency doctor.
Yeah,
And
that's a
do
total
you know
step
what
back
That's a
from
totally that's a
doctorology.
thing.
EDS.
What is EDS?
Don't
Not
know, don't
erectile
care.
dysfunction.
What? She doesn't
I
know
don't have
what
that written down,
EDS is?
Apparently not. She's thinking
I know
about
the
Doritos,
acronym.
though.
It's,
So
Look,
you
she
know
thought
three
it was
letters,
I know
Cialis
the three
related.
letters.
and that's it. So
I know the
how would
letters.
somebody appropriately test for EDS?
So I can talk about what Dr. Stevens did, which was review the medical reports. There was a lot of
Review
testing
the
completed
medical
as far
reports?
as measurements. It just seemed to be a lot more thorough and lasted a lot more than 20 minutes.
Who is
So she's-
Dr. Stevens? Who's
she's-
Stevens?
That's a geneticist at Erlanger. That's who DFACS made the appointment with after Hollick's appointment. Whenever the parents make an appointment and finally get a judge to agree, DFACS has to counter and get their own. So they made an appointment for Jameson at Erlanger. And you'll see her. Dr. Stevens testifies in this.
And I'm sure Stevens decided that he doesn't have EDS. Is that right?
She and
Or she?
yes.
Okay,
and
so
Carrie doesn't.
she was shocked that the specialist that he took so that it was such a quick thing. A good rheumatologist can look at you and say you have Ehlers-Danlos,
Right.
like as you walk in.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
She doesn't
This
know
is their
anything about the
bailiwick.
beaten score. Like she doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah, no, she knows. She didn't even know what.
I mean, it's
I
this
know
is
the
why
three
like
letters.
yeah, I mean, my like my current doctor, I finally found someone with a chronic pain background, but he was like, okay, have you done the Budapest scale, all of this stuff? And I was like, yeah, we've done that. You know, I did the 3D scan. So he knows exactly what he's looking at, and he can tell by just touching my leg and the different temperatures that I have this. He doesn't need to do another bone scan of me.
But did he draw your blood?
That's the big
No,
question.
but I made him uncomfortable with some of my jokes, so
That counts.
That
That
does.
totally counts as a medical test.
But by your testimony, you were not present for much of what went on. Is that correct?
So that's where I think the problem started was we had a court order saying that we were supposed to be in those appointments and we were neglected out of 45 minutes of it. So I don't know what happened within the 45 minutes. There could have been stuff that was done with Jameson that we didn't have privy to.
And you don't know what records Dr. Hollick reviewed or didn't review, correct?
Correct.
You don't know what medical history he had in front of him and what he didn't have in front of him, correct?
Correct, because we didn't have access to that.
Okay. And
ooh, sex scandal face.
that is
Yep. That's a
That
really
is
good one.
100%.
That's 100% with the downturn and everything. That's even, I'm putting that on the board. We're adding her to the, we're adding her to the, I need to make a compilation of all the different
Ooh,
faces.
it's gonna be
we
a
have.
lot.
I know. We need to put him in here. So this is the guy from the Kowalski trial, the guy from J Hatch. He has the best sex scandal face ever. Love that for her. Look at that. It's right on. Dang.
is a sticking point for the department, right?
What?
The fact that you guys did not get notified and basically give your blessing to
What?
this trip to Boston.
I don't think it was the fact that we had to give a blessing. It was that we felt there was a lot of underhandedness with it. There wasn't a lot of transparency. And then when we even got to Boston,
She's one to
it
talk.
was very,
Excuse me, ma'am? Glass houses, people with stones do what now, bitch?
there wasn't a lot of transparency from the get-go. Even when Dr. Hollick whispered in the ears, and then all of a sudden we were left out of 45 minutes of an appointment that we were supposed to be a part of.
She is
Not only
so
we
mad that
interfered,
she could not have
and
that
we didn't
info.
intervene, but we
Look,
didn't
she was
have,
off her vape pen for
we
an
don't know
hour.
what transpired
This
for
was a
45
sacrifice.
minutes out of that medical appointment that we were supposed to be involved in, or at least allowed access to. So it's not necessarily that we didn't give a blessing.
Yeah,
It was
but
that
that's
there
what you
was
just
just
said.
very little transparency, and it looked like it was hiding. And just to put another example on that, even in
Hold
Dr.
on.
Stevens' appointment, we were it was disclosed that there were medical records that were sent off to another provider, and Dr. Stevens asked who those providers were, and Dr. Stevens was advised during that appointment that they were advised not to share.
Okay.
So it's just that there was a lot of lack of transparency. It wasn't that we had any blessings that we needed to give.
Okay.
But that is what you just said. Like,
this child was in the physical custody at that time of Brittany and Jake Bullock, correct?
He was placed there, yes.
Physical custody.
But we have custody.
Correct?
But we were the guardians, yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so-
There it is.
Yep.
They had physical custody,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So tell me what you know about Jake Bullock.
Oh, Jason.
About who?
That he is in law enforcement.
Jake who?
This is the in-law. It's supposed to be redacted,
Oh.
unfortunately.
Okay.
That he
Sorry, I thought it was a doctor.
was on a special task force with the governor's office.
Okay. He's a Georgia State patrolman, Georgia State trooper. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Any safety concerns y'all had about Brittany and Jake?
No, not at all.
Okay. Why were they harassed to the extent they were harassed by your department?
I think that's a very opinionated question. I don't think they were harassed at all. I think we were doing our due diligence as an agency that is trying to oversee a safety,
Oh my
the
gosh.
safety and well-being of a child, and had concerns
someone
about
on a
all the
governor's
different
special
interferences.
task force.
Yes, they did, Spike.
That is amazing.
They busted in their house in the middle of the night looking for Carrie and Brady, looking for
balls.
Jameson to see if Jameson was there. That's when they did the welfare check at Carrie and Brady's and looking to see if they were hiding Jameson.
I know if I want
Wow.
to harass someone, I'm going to pick a cop who was on a governor's task force.
Yeah, that's going to go over
It's a
real
bold
well. I
strategy,
wonder
Cotton. See
I
how it
wonder
plays
if
out
he
there.
has. I hope he has reported that to his contacts at the governor's office of how he was treated by this other government agency.
Yes, some things were handled and meetings were had, and that's why they ended up moving Jameson to the grandparents, because it was just too much on this family. They have
This is-
kids, and it was a lot on their family. It's very scary to be intimidated and harassed by the state of Georgia. It's not like easy. You know what I mean? Like the retaliation is high.
God.
And again, the very much lack of communication that we are getting, and the very much lack of transparency.
The
that
very
we're getting.
much lack.
so
What kind of
you're-
grammar is this? I'm
She's a
sorry, but I will not
PhD.
stand.
She's got
I
a
will stand for the
master's.
child napping and all that, but I will not
She's
stand.
high. Give her a break.
Yeah, I was
Will
going to
not
say.
stand for
that- that
this.
She's fighting for her life right now.
The
There's
very
a
much.
like.
This very much.
The weed
what?
is getting to her.
much
Listen,
lack-
if you haven't been this high, then you just don't get it.
You don't get
I'm proud of her for forming complete sentences.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I have, but you know when I don't do it, when I'm on stand with
That's
my
fair.
useless job that I want to
That's-
protect, and I'm trying to not look like a jackass.
Did they think it would calm them down? I mean,
Yeah, so that's
truthfully-
the other problem. When you're a severe drug addict, again, I'm an expert witness on this. When you're a severe drug addict and you go into a stressful situation, you think, you know what I need to really get me in the right is more drugs than I would like. Here's my baseline. I need to go here. I'm glad that you made this so that it's just me.
It's like
So
a
that
public
this
service
can become a really
announcement.
good clip of,
Yep.
of
Can we
me
get the
saying, you know
more
what I
we
need to
know
do.
thing
But
at the end?
yeah, no, that's what happens is you're sitting there and you're like, this is going to be rough. I better take even more drugs because, as we all know, I'm at my best when I have some level of drugs in my system. So clearly, just upping it is just a straight. There's no bell curve on this. The
To
more
be
drugs, the better.
fair, also don't do that when you know you have to go to a packed church because your sons are getting baptized. Because you will find a lot of the sermon really, really funny, and you shouldn't be laughing, and you kind of want to, yell out in the middle of dunking, like, there's enough room on the door, Rose. Let Jack stay up. So I wouldn't recommend that. But
Noted.
if you deal with chronic pain and people that don't listen to stay away from your left side, there are some sacrifices that have to be made.
Yeah.
And not only that, typically weed does calm you down. So if you're going into a situation where you know it's going to be a high stress situation, you're like, "Oh, let me take a puff. It'll calm me down. Nobody'll notice."
We noticed.
Yeah,
Nobody will notice.
Except we
there is
noticed.
a bell curve to
Except
that.
everybody notices.
I learned that there's also a bell curve because you can get so high that you start panicking. And I think we're seeing brief moments of this where it's like, oh no, I can't unexist out of this. So it's like, it's this thing where it's like, oh, I'm here present in this moment and this is happening. And I don't think I've peaked yet. And I think it's only going to get worse. I can't magically disappear from this moment. Now what? And so, and you're thinking like, okay, I got to maintain, and it's going to go down. I'll be okay. But you're sitting there thinking like, no, I haven't reached the zenith of this yet. And so by the time I'm coming down, I'll already be headed home. And so
I'm seeing that right here in the in the forehead. You're seeing it in the eyebrows and the amount of whites in the eyes we can see right now. You're starting to see the
she has
oh my
become
god,
a mathematician of beautiful mind levels to try to figure out and calculate when
She's
that
like
curve is going to peak.
Yeah.
She's like,
times
okay, it's been
squared
and I used indica, not
equals.
stevia, and oh crap, but it was a hybrid resin. Oh shit.
Yup. She's
8
looking back and
hours
she's normally
divided by
She's like, but I did have a lot of carbs this morning. I had like a whole bagel, so maybe that'll soak it up. Oh wait, this isn't booze.
Wait,
Crap.
I came from a simpler time where you would just take flour and smoke it. Now with all this stuff with the the dab pens and the all the different concentrations and the fast acting and but like being a diabetic, like you got your fast acting and your long acting and so she's really she's struggling in this moment, and she's also trying to figure out that I love these. I wish I had known these formulas back in the day. This would have helped.
Yes,
but,
this is what she's come up with. That's what it equals. It equals fuck.
She's giving herself a TED talk like, you can do this. You have been this high before. You have been on trial this high before.
No one
pull
knows.
it together.
No one knows.
No one knows how high I am.
No one knows. That's another big part. If I can do this right, no one will know I'm high. They'll know. They'll think I seem like a normal. I seem like I'm maintaining.
Oh gosh. Bless
And
her heart.
that's the illusion where you think you're good and you're really not good.
No.
Jason
Not
knows.
good.
Jason knows.
Where are you not that Mr. had to have a meeting with the head of the state patrol and with Candace Brose, the head of your department, correct?
Yes.
All right. At that time, the reason he was having that meeting is because you all were trying to remove Jameson from his home, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Your department head, Ms. Brose, intervened and said, ain't happening. Kid's staying where he is. Okay. Were you invited to that meeting?
I was not invited to Ms. Brose. However, I was invited to the meeting that included our regional and district director.
Okay. Was Ms. Bono invited to the meeting with Ms. Brose?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. Neither one of you attended that meeting. Is that correct?
No, because we didn't know that meeting was going on.
You're only a case manager.
So,
she wasn't. It wasn't that Miss Brose didn't get her blessing. It's that there wasn't transparency with what Miss Brose was doing.
That's right. They didn't know.
Trying to remove the Jameson from home. He had to meet with the head of your department in an effort to stop that. Then the grandparents come to Superior Court in an effort to get custody of the child. And y'all come here and object to that. And your testimony today is the reason you were objecting to that is because you wanted the child to remain in. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
What? Can you make sense of that for me?
We can. So we had a
Crap,
family
don't
team
ask a
meeting
high
with
person to
Mr.
make sense of anything.
And they were not privy to a lot of the information that was originally, I guess, being discussed. After we had a family team meeting, they understood the seriousness of the case. They understood that there were concerns. And then they even went to an appointment at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta with Ms. Bono and I, where I think they realized and recognized the seriousness of the nature of the case that had nothing to do with medical, that it was concerns about actual physical abuse and injuries.
Wrong.
And
No.
when that came to light, there was a different tone as far as Mr. and Ms.
Maybe they just started lying to you because you're a bitch.
Yes. They're like, oh, it was abuse. Okay.
Oh, so what you're saying is that my sister is an abuser. Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, and probably only after we're going to take this child again and rip him away from comfort.
And put him in foster care if you guys
Yeah,
don't
so-
toe the line.
If you guys don't understand the seriousness of what we have evaluated here,
She
which
said
is
they saw the
nothing-
light.
Yes,
They
that's
saw
when
the
you
light.
that's when you see the light. You go, oh yes,
It's
I'm
also-
sure. Yes.
This also shows the rigor of their process, whereby you can go from they're raiding your home and trying to take a child from you to where if you go, okay, then they're like, no, we got to make sure that the child stays with you.
Now he can stay with you because you guys are a yes man
You're,
now.
you're on board now.
But the rigor of that process is that you go, all right, yeah, okay, that's
That's
literally
it.
what that
That's
abusive
the requirement.
It's scary for the child, safe for the child. The difference is going, yes, okay. It's compliance.
Wow.
was concerned. But previously, before that family team meeting occurred, there were concerns that there was unsupervised visits going on. There were concerns that they were not following through as far as what we as an agency expect our relative placements to adhere by.
And that's why y'all were showing up at their house at 2:00 in the morning, beating on the door. Beating on the door of a state patrolman to say, let us in your home to see who's here.
I don't recall anyone going to their home at 2 a.m.
Oh, you don't?
If they did, you weren't there. Is that your testimony?
Well, right. I was not there. And I know that I did not authorize or ask anyone to make a call at 2 a.m.
Spider-Man.
And having a drug tester, one of your providers, tell him that he had to perform a urine drug test, a urine drug test in front of his daughter, would not let him excuse himself and be outside the presence of his minor child to
Unfortunately,
take a drug
yes.
test. Are you aware of that? A state patrolman.
So we contract providers to complete
Not
our
us,
home
Spider-Man
assessments for
beam.
kinship
Yes,
care.
Spider-Man.
And a part of our kinship assessments are substance abuse screens. Our provider, that was something that we had to talk to our provider about because we were not aware that that happened. That was not anyone that was employed with our agency. That was a contractor that we used.
But they're contracted through
But
you guys. So
Didn't do nothing.
I did not say that it was
nothing.
I did not say that it wasn't, and I didn't say that it was. I was saying that was a learning experience.
What, Spike?
Since she
was
has
a
said
learning
that they did that with,
experience?
since she said that they did that without the authorization of the state, that then means that they can be sued, right? And not get qualified immunity, even though they're contractors of the state.
Ooh.
No,
You would hope
that's
so.
I mean, that's what it
Also-
seems like in court right now.
Yeah.
Right. They're not taking any responsibility for them. So can they be sued? Yeah, good question.
Experience for our providers. I mean,
Let's test that theory, Spike. Somebody needs to sue the contractor.
Yeah,
Let's see.
because I mean, we got the footage right here from this.
We got it right here.
extremely-
She says they have nothing to do with them.
This
So
very
let's sue the
sober
contractor.
woman is saying that they were not this is this paragon of sobriety has said that they're not that they didn't even know that was happening, and they had to have
They had to have a little
meeting
powwow
with them
talk.
afterwards
Wait a
about
minute.
it.
Are you saying that a mandated reporter, which I'm guessing this contractor is, encouraged a young child to witness their father's schmeckle and didn't report
Yes.
that? So he encouraged child grossness?
I mean,
Like,
he
again,
forced it. He wouldn't let
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
officer go.
mandated it. Yeah,
He
He
mandated.
mandated it. Mandated child abuse by the state contractor. I like
Also,
where this is going.
I love that we're subcontracting this because, nothing bad happens when your contractor subcontracts to like a shady company. I mean, what could go wrong?
Would you agree that it was a learning experience for Mr. too?
I guess.
Maybe
If you want to look at it that way. But that is a part of our contract, and that was made aware prior to placement, is that a kinship assessment needed to be completed, and part of that was a background check and a substance abuse assessment, or a substance abuse screen.
That's not the issue here.
Y'all were
Suppose
not
they thought
happy
that
with
meant
the
you have to pee in front of your daughter.
Yeah, they left that part
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, they left that part out of the
That's
of
the fine
handbook.
print in front of your
That's
children.
not
Yeah.
in front of your minor
In front of your
children.
kids naked. Yeah.
Oh,
Not to
my
mention,
goodness.
if a parent said,
Have
"Oh
the
yeah, I
audacity.
just run to the restroom," they'd be like, "Take the children, take them far, far away, and you have to sign up as an offender."
Right. Yeah.
Right. Right.
to seek second opinions, second medical opinions for this child without getting y'all's blessing. And in turn, those folks were harassed by your department to the extent that he had to go to your statewide director and seek relief.
She's like, that is what happened, huh?
Correct?
I was unaware that Mr.
That's exactly what happened.
And got a second opinion from a doctor until just now.
What was the trip to Boston about?
What?
She's so stupid.
What?
Yeah,
She's.
Wait, was it? The question was
Oh
about
man,
harassment.
put
What?
down the
And
ganja.
They did what behind my back? That's what she's like.
She's-
I'm just learning about that.
She's
right
not paying attention.
It's
Oh
like
my
you
God.
were
Organized by Miss Timms.
She
honestly.
just figured this out. She figured out, again, this is high logic. Wow. I think from now on, if he asks me something, I can just be like, I didn't know that until you just said it.
You just told me.
And then like if she just does that to the rest of it, now she's golden. Like it's everything. She's like, I figured it out. This jury's gonna be, oh, she didn't even know. Guilty, guilty,
Again,
guilty.
this is
like
like-
it's again, this is very high logic. But
But
she's
he's
like,
literally talking about Boston, which
Yeah,
he just
Jason's
got
like,
done
"You were
answering
there."
all these questions about Boston because you were in the room, ma'am.
Oh, my
What do you
goodness.
mean you
This is
just?
it. I need to use this Jedi mind trick the next time Mr. Mo asks about Cole's cash.
I just found out about
I
this just
don't-
now
I
when you
just
told
found
me.
out
just
about
now
this.
finding out about this right now.
I'm going to do the
this
same
minute.
thing.
That is
The
your-
next time my husband asks me about an Amazon charge, I'm going to be like, I'm just finding out about this
Yeah,
right
I hope
now.
my wife is not watching this. 'Cause
As you're telling me this. This is the first
It's
I've
her.
heard of it.
Yes.
I am shocked as you are in
In this
outrage,
moment-
outrage and shockification. Shock
in this
and
very
horror.
moment, I am discovering things that are shocking and horrifying. And frankly, I'm mad that you're not angrier at what you just said to me.
There?
She was, but
I'm gonna need to
my
process
understanding,
this.
What was the trip to Boston about?
I thought it was organized by Miss Timms, honestly.
Was Brittany not there?
She was, but my understanding while Miss was there is so that the DNA test could be done through her on her as well, because Mr. Timms couldn't be present at that appointment. And that was confusing to me because they're half siblings.
What?
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Miss Bernard.
Jason's like, I'm done. I can't deal with her.
Yeah,
anymore.
Jason's like, I'm out.
She's all
I'm
yours,
out.
Catherine.
She's like,
I
I
just-
didn't
I
want to
can't
say anything,
anymore.
but I thought that they were like stepbrothers or something. You do
All right.
realize
You
half
involved-
siblings do share DNA markers.
She doesn't know.
you
She doesn't
bint.
know. She doesn't understand.
I'm
Are
gonna
you
call
guys-
I'm going to call my brother, who's actually, I call him my brother, but he's my half brother. And I'm going to say, I have terrible news for you. We're not actually related, not medically, not in the state of Georgia.
Not in the state
As
of
long
Georgia.
as we stay outside of the state of Georgia, then we're good.
You're
But if
fine.
we meet up like in Atlanta or something, we're just acquaintances.
We're just
We're
agreeing.
not.
I'm gonna
No,
have to
we're
call
not-
my
we're not
sister from a
related.
different mister and be like,
That was confusing
I
to
have
me.
I have some great news for you. You get custody of mom.
Oh
This
my
is,
gosh. Jason
this is
literally
really
just ended
something.
it. Did you not notice? He's like,
He did. He was like,
walked
thank
away.
you.
no
Yep,
more further
I'm out.
questions.
Are you guys good for like another 15, 20 minutes?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool.
In Jameson Timms' case at all prior to February of 2022?
No.
Okay. So if there is a notation from January 13th in Jameson's medical records that at some point the pediatrician is said to have coordinated with someone high up in DFACS administration who pushed the issue, would you know who that
Not that
person
kind of
high up in DFACS administration is?
No.
So you first became aware of Jameson Timms in February, but you didn't have any direct contact with Jameson himself until April of 2022 when you attended the appointment in Boston?
There might have been another instance before then, but from what I can recall, April 2022, that Boston.
Well, so do you
She's
recall ever
100%
laying eyes on
weak
Jameson
slurring her
Timms here in
words.
Gordon County before you went up to Boston for the appointment?
Not that I'm aware of. I could be wrong though.
Okay.
That was 3 years ago.
So you were drawing your conclusions about Jameson's health and medical and physical condition exclusively from the reports given to you by the medical providers. Is that accurate?
And staffing the case with the people within our office.
Okay, so who were the people within your office that the case was staffed with, Jameson's case?
So Ms. Bono was one of them. The previous supervisor, Rachel Johnson.
Anybody else?
Furthers.
Um,
Look, she got a
I
contact
think
buzz.
those
She's
two
hungry.
were primarily it.
There.
Okay.
She's been hotboxed.
Was Lori Stanfield ever working on the case?
That would have been before me, and even before I came to Gordon County.
Okay.
Auntie Sue's having trouble opening the Werthers.
Good Lord.
Bless her heart.
her.
So
some
did you
scissors.
ever review any records from Jameson's visit to Erlanger in 2020 in November of 2021 or his
I
visit
missed
to
the
Showa in
judge's
January
Werther
2022?
moment.
It was a long
I'm
one.
Sure, I did.
It
I don't
was
have those
long.
records in
It was a
front of me.
battle.
Okay. At what stage would you have? At what stage of your involvement?
I'm
would you
putting
have
that on
reviewed those
tomorrow's
records?
bingo card.
Probably at the beginning, so anywhere between February, March, beginning of April.
Did you ever? You mentioned earlier in your testimony with Ms. Law that you were
Damn
responsible for
Go in the
collateral. Is
headlights
that right?
that she got.
No, I helped and assisted with collaterals, but I was not responsible for them.
Okay, so who would have been responsible for them?
Ms. Bono.
Okay. Do you know who she contacted?
I don't know who she contacted right offhand. I can tell you who I contacted.
Okay, so who did you contact?
So one of them was Dr. Brown with Showa. I contacted Dr. Sisk. I talked to the front desk at Emory because I needed to understand what happened with that referral.
Which referral are you talking
The
about?
genetic referral, the one that originally was sent over by Showa at the beginning of the case, somewhere along those lines, that referral never made it from one doctor to the next. So I re-referred it back
Because
in May
Emory and Choa
of
worked together,
2022.
so the family didn't want to.
So that's why we didn't find out about the genetic variant on the call 1A2 gene that until May of 2022.
I don't.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not entirely
That
sure.
seems
to be honest with you.
important, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know about that genetic variant on one of the collagen producing genes that was
I
found?
am just
Not right
finding out now.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
am
What
shocked
do you know
and
about
horrified.
Jameson Timms' medical situation?
That's gotta be on the bingo card for tomorrow too.
That he, in all the
Catherine,
medical reports,
What do you know?
Yeah, but do we cover
from
it under
the
high
pediatrician
logic?
to Dr. Stevens to Dr. Brown, that he's a happy, healthy baby that was developmentally on track.
Clinically well? Is
What?
that a term that you
Like
recommend?
loving a parent.
Wait. So either this baby is abused and like physically abused in bad shape, but no one ever diagnoses him with anything other than being clinically well. What?
Yeah, Spike, Verena Brown did state that in her testimony, that he was clinically well the day
Well,
that
that's
he was
obvious abuse.
severely.
Yeah, don't you
And that
realize
there was
how
no
abusive
treatment.
it is to have a clinically
There was
well
no treatment.
child?
No
And that
treatment.
they were
Nothing.
attentive, loving parents.
Yes, and that they were attentive, loving parents.
My God, if I'm on
That's
this jury,
totally
I am so
suspicious.
pissed off that they're making me sit there any longer. Like I'm done.
For
I
a
was
month.
done on
This
day
lasted
3.
for a whole month.
Was Was this the trial where there were times where the jury like laughed, like burst
Spike.
into laugh?
It was really bad. I've not shared that with the group, but yes.
Yeah, sex scandal face, by the way. But also, just it's so bad now that it's just like an aside, like, oh, she's doing it again.
She's doing it again.
It's imagine being a juror and thinking, I could be doing something productive right now, and I'm being forced to sit here and watch what everyone, including the witness, knows is nonsense. Like there's no reason.
If I'm a juror at this moment, my notes are all ad hominem attacks. Like I have stopped writing down facts. I'm like, looks like jaundice.
Yep.
What the hell is wrong with this chick?
People,
Me too.
What they were doing. You could tell who was doodling and who was taking notes. There's not much note taking to be done. You could tell. It was very obvious.
Do you remember in the Kowalski trial, didn't they go after a juror for doodling kiss S's in his notebooks? And they were like, it's a Nazi salute. He's doing Nazi salutes.
They're not supposed to know what the jurors are writing.
Oh, but they did.
Meanwhile, all of us who grew up in like the 90s and
We
early
were like,
2000s are like,
that's
our
Kiss.
S that is in all of our notebooks.
I was going to say, are you talking
from high
about where you
school.
make the 6 lines
light-
and then you line them up?
Yep.
And that's a
I'm talking about
Nazi
the-
salute?
No,
Every-
it's
That's what
not.
they said in
It's
the
the
Kowalski
Kiss
trial.
In the Kowalski trial, they tried to turn it into that. And in fact, one of the attorneys who was Jewish was like, he put on this big whole thing about it, about how offensive it was, an affront to him as a Jew. And like, we were just dying laughing. Like, and
wait.
then the other, then
they
the
claim,
process,
the
the
lead
plaintiff's
Kiss guy?
attorney, the plaintiff's attorney held up an album of Kiss. Remember?
Oh my gosh, I missed that.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was fantastic. What's his name? Anderson was like, and this is actually what it is.
Yeah, so a little clarification. It's not the young millennials or old millennial Stussy S that we're talking about. It's like a
it looks
it is not a Nazi salute or an SS symbol, but it is not the skateboarder S that we did in the 90s. But yeah, it's not.
No, it's an S that looks like, it's 2 S's that look like a lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
and those are the exact same letters in Kiss.
Yeah,
It's exactly
lead
how
singer of
Kiss was
Kiss
written.
is a Jew.
It was because he was
Yeah,
writing Sally
right.
Smith, right?
Yes, he wrote Sally Smith with those letters, with the 2
she does
S's.
have the black hair dye going.
Well, then
And Sally Smith-
obviously Maya was being abused.
Obviously.
If the juror was writing some suspicious S's,
Yeah.
logical conclusion there.
Ergo.
Put it together, guys.
Ergo.
Ipso facto.
Ergo. They were trying to
ipso
say that the
facto.
jury was biased against Sally Smith because they were likening Sally Smith to a Nazi,
Oh
which
my
I
gosh.
thought was quite a fair comparison, if you want my opinion.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
she was very
I would have gone
Nazi-esque.
Mengele though.
Yes.
Not just generic.
I wish we could have recorded the jury in this trial specifically, just some of the facial
I would have
expressions.
loved to have
I
seen
did
their
reach out
facial
to
expressions.
the forewoman of this trial, Megan. I gave her your email address.
Oh, good.
She said she'd love to come on.
Oh, wonderful.
It'd be fun,
Oh,
right?
I would love to have her. I haven't heard from her yet, but
Okay,
tell her,
I'll
and
send
you're
her another
welcome to send her the link for tomorrow's show or whatever. When share
I
it
was
with
gonna
whoever.
say, could you imagine us having like direct, okay, what were you thinking when she said this bullshit?
Yeah. She will love it. She will love it.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to know. I definitely want to know what the jury was thinking, because I would have loved to have been in the room so I could see their faces, because some of this stuff is so outrageous. It's like, well, wait, what now? What?
Yep.
So did you ever do any home visits with Carrie and Brady Timms?
No.
You did do some of the home visits with Brittany and Jake?
No.
Oh, you did not participate in any of the home visits?
No.
What would you say you do here?
Who else would have been participating in the home visits from the department, if not you or Ms. Bono?
What would you say you do here?
There could have been another case manager that would have helped.
What does that mean?
Somebody.
Just answer D,
I'm sure
all of the
someone
above.
like did it and might have
Someone
helped
did
with it.
Not me.
I don't know. I'm just the supervisor of the supervisor of the supervisor. I don't know what the.
I don't know who does what.
I don't know, but the child's obviously being abused.
Outside
That's
of
what I know.
the initial investigators, I think Miss Bono would have been the primary
Nope,
person
she
that did
wasn't
the
in
home
it.
visits
Nope.
unless
April
someone was
Hunt.
covering for her.
Let me help you. April Hunt.
Do you know who the investigators were on Jameson's case
April
for your
Hunt.
department?
So that would have definitely been April Hunt, and her supervisor was Lori Stanfield.
Okay. Do you know of anybody else who might have been serving as an investigator on the case at the initial stages?
Not that I'm aware
Nope.
of.
Just April.
Who said everything was fine?
Who said everything was fine? Who said don't take
And
him?
were you, and I guess you've already said that you were not involved in anything that took place in January, such as the department's decision to deny medical information to Carrie and Brady Timms entirely, right?
Not me.
Okay. So you've got your separate concerns about transparency in April 2022, but you were not involved in the decision to specifically exclude Carrie and Brady Timms from all medical reports about their child, Jameson.
Correct. I wasn't a part of that decision making.
Just finding out
Who
now.
was?
Just finding out right now.
I didn't know that happened.
Until just now.
All right. You mentioned that you were on a specialized assignment here in Gordon County in early 2022. Is that right?
Yes.
And you mentioned that it was because of transition within the offices. What was that transition?
Just case managers being promoted to supervisors and then bringing and onboarding.
Everyone got
case
promoted,
managers
ma'am.
on.
Okay. So was there anybody involved in Jameson's case who left the office or moved on somewhere else?
I bet they got promoted.
Sure.
Okay.
I bet they
So
got
I guess
promoted.
who would be most responsible from your department for Jameson Timms' case? Like, who's the person who would know all about Jameson Timms' case?
From start to finish?
Right.
That's generally what we ask.
Yeah. The whole
not
case, man.
entirely sure any.
Yeah, the prequel,
Wow.
the sequel.
Oh!
To talk
Wow.
about just because we have different departments.
Oh, no one knows.
Yeah, for anyone who may have missed what just happened there, Catherine said, who in your department would know the entirety of this case? And she's like, the whole thing? And Catherine's like, yeah. And she goes, I mean, she's now giving the long answer, but basically, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we have different departments. See, this is how they get away with everything.
Yeah.
This is purposeful. And this is why they have different there's an investigator, and then they assign a case manager who wasn't at the investigation and has no knowledge of anything that happened there, and then they assign a supervisor who sort of oversees what the case manager is doing but not really, and doesn't get into it, because when they get into this situation they can all go like this. I don't know.
So
does anybody really have
To get into their secret club, this is their hand symbol. You just walk up. That's how you know.
When Catherine asked her what the reason was for the move, and she paused and laughed, I hope that she pictured in Alice in Wonderland when the Mad Hatter would stand up and go, change places. Like that's really all it is. It's like just a shift. And it's change places. It's fail up. Like, okay, you failed enough. Time for you to move your way up and you get that gain boost. And
She's
that
laughing
raise.
because it's known knowledge to her. It's just common knowledge to her.
Thank you guys for bringing this together, or bringing this to our attention, because it's the banality of evil.
Yeah.
Each one of these people can go up at whatever trial and say it wasn't my department.
Yes.
And feel like they're still on the moral high ground, and that's what allows these very terrible systems to continue. And we can't do anything about it until we know how absolutely terrible these systems are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, and it really is bad.
Too. So when a case opens up, we have our investigation department. So that's one sector of an office, and then we have the
She's
permanency
explaining exactly what you just
side.
said.
Yeah.
So
Just one sector, and then the sectors
Do
don't
those two
speak to
sides
each
talk to
other.
each other?
No.
They do, but it's not that one supervisor would be supervising from start.
This is like what happened on 9/11. Do you remember the 9/11 failure? And then we had to commission the 9/11 commission, all just to discover that we have all these agencies, and none of them, not only do they not talk to each other, they hate one another and they're in competition with one another, and so they keep things from each other on purpose.
Yeah, Catherine's like, do the two sides talk to each other?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And
What
then
was
she's
her
like-
answer to
and
that?
Her response is like, no. Like,
No.
it's
Like, we
why
wear
don't
pink
talk-
on
talk to me? I
Wednesdays.
hate them.
Do those two sides talk to each other?
They do, but it's not that one supervisor would be supervising from start to finish, and it's not like a case manager would be
Right, because that would be too easy.
that
because
would
then
make
someone
more
would be then someone would be accountable. Someone would actually know about this
She's
case.
like, lady, we can't do that. That would be wrong. That would never work out with our narrative.
Yeah. Well, and so when she says we do, what are they talking about?
Yes.
In other words, yeah, we talk at the water cooler about whatever nonsense, but
Office
like we're allowed to speak to and see each other. But are you actually talking about this case? Oh no, we don't talk about the case.
No, we don't talk about the case.
Manager from start to finish because they're two different program areas.
Okay. Well, just to be candid, we've been getting a lot of answers of people not being responsible for things.
Yeah.
And so I guess, what do you consider yourself responsible for in the Jameson Timms case?
I was supervising the case from February 2022 until it finished.
Well, what does
So
that
what
mean?
are you? What does that mean?
Catherine, bless her heart.
I love Catherine's pregnant pauses.
Yes.
Just-
They're
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay.
They're beautiful.
And during that time, did you observe any medical or physical issues with Jameson Timms?
No.
Did you observe
What?
any abusive conduct by Carrie Timms or Brady Timms?
No, but I didn't see any of those interactions either.
Okay. And were you aware of the home visit that Ms. Bono scheduled to the Timms home and then did not show up for?
No.
Was she
As a
supposed to do at least
supervisor,
one
shouldn't she
home
know?
visit to the Timms?
She should.
Yes.
She was supposed to do that?
There would be a home visit each month, whether it be in the home or in the field.
They prefer to go to
Do a
school and
home visit
daycare.
in the field.
They go to
So
schools and
are you
daycare.
aware of anything that
Oh.
Carrie Timms or Brady Timms
His
did
teachers
wrong
will be
throughout this
compliant.
process?
Well, this is a good question.
Ooh.
Anything that they did wrong in this process,
I
the
mean,
Timms?
The only thing that I can
Say it.
Wait, did you
I
not?
can
Did you
say
not
is
pause
there
that? That was just
seemed
her
to
being
be-
silent that whole time.
Yes, that was her silence.
Yes.
I was
I
about
didn't
to
pause
ask,
that.
but I saw the judge's head move, and I'm
The
like,
judge is like,
No,
we're
I
waiting.
didn't pause it. Should we count it?
Yeah, count it.
Carrie Timms or Brady Timms did wrong throughout this process?
No, I mean,
10 seconds.
the only thing that I can,
Seconds.
Full 10 seconds there. Yeah, full 10-second
The
pause.
judge is like,
Wow.
I think at one
I
point
need
the
to go
judge goes,
back.
"You-
I
you
need to
have
go back to when the
answer
judge
that."
moved.
I
How
need
many
to see
seconds?
everybody's faces.
How many
Yeah.
seconds before the judge goes, you're legally required to answer that?
answer.
Like,
Let's
you
see.
can't-
All right, let's go back
Anything that
again.
Carrie Timms or Brady Timms did wrong throughout this process?
Seven seconds.
7.
no, I mean, the only thing that I can say is that there just seemed to be a lot of, and I'm going to say that I do recognize that there were a lot of attorneys and a lot of attorney voices that were involved in this case. So that prevented a lot of transparency, where typically if we have parents that
couldn't afford
Um,
attorneys.
Wait, is her answer yes?
Oh.
What they did wrong was hire attorneys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. They knew
Yes.
their rights and hired an attorney.
We're not used to that, Miss
Oh,
We're
Bernard.
not used to like
boy.
people
We usually
understanding
just-
that they have rights and that
Yeah.
like they should be able to like have a presumption of innocence or
We
like
just
anything like
plow
that.
them
Look at the
over
court
normally.
reporter looking at her. Like,
I know.
seriously, bitch?
The court reporter is waiting for her to actually answer it so she can type something.
Are involved with
Look
us,
at her.
we have a lot more interaction. It appeared in this case that attorneys prevented a lot of the transparency, prevented a lot of communication.
Assertion
and
of their
so
rights.
It was a hindrance because
a hindrance.
this was a multi-factor case.
Mm.
Because
We're
it
like-
did involve the criminal
We're
side.
like trying to steal their
hindrance.
children, and it's kind of
So
hard when they're
well, I
like,
mean,
yeah, it's really
lawyers
hard.
that are like not letting us steal their children, and so
Yes!
that's like a hindrance. And
She's like, yeah, that Fourth Amendment thing is kind of icky.
Yeah.
It's not.
The
We
Fourth
wanted to,
Amendment
like,
really gets in our way.
seize their persons and property, but like they kept wanting due process, and
I
that's a
can't
hindrance?
believe she said this. Like I
So
was
that's
there. I don't
where
remember
they-
it being this ridiculous.
That
Yeah.
is
So what
nuts.
did they do wrong? They hired attorneys that hindered us from stealing their child.
Yes.
That's her answer.
Caused some problems, ma'am.
Wow.
It sounds like the criminal side was, the accusations that we're here today on for Brady and Carrie Timms. That sort of forms the entire basis for the department's removal and subsequent attempts to keep Jameson away from first his aunt and uncle and then his grandparents and continually from his parents, right?
Well, they weren't he wasn't removed from his aunt and uncle.
But that's only because y'all weren't successful when you tried to have them removed, right?
There were a lot of meetings that were involved, and depending on the outcome of what would have happened at that family team meeting, the outcome probably would have been different. But there was a lot of openness at that family team meeting where we felt comfortable keeping Jameson there.
This woman abuses
So I
her
don't
cat.
know what the outcome would have been if that family.
Calling it.
This woman only smiles at the end of Old Yeller. She's
Also,
like, let's watch it again.
Like Harbin Pickett.
This is-
Maybe they watch it together.
One of you said early on, there's a type. And so they're looking for someone. This is the person who, do I want to say that on a live stream? Never mind. But there is a type that like anything other than just total capitulation is a failure on your part and you're going to suffer for it. This is the kind of person that like people develop boundaries with and keep out of their lives more and more because they just can't deal with it. They can't deal with like, oh, I didn't respond to the text message in 30 minutes. And so now they're saying, well, tell her I said hi. And like it's endless with someone like this.
But
Not speaking from personal experience or anything.
It's also, how did all of these heifers major in like HRitis? Again, she's probably
It's called
read
social
every
work.
I was going to say, this is what they teach in social work is how to abuse your cats.
Yep.
Well,
This
how
is-
to
this
feel
is the
better
social
and more
work-
superior about than people that are actually parenting.
Also, you get that if you go to library school too. Like if you are a librarian, you also get the holier than thou look and behavior. You get that in social worker school and librarian school.
Okay. Because so at any point from any of Jameson's relatives, have you received anything but cooperation and compliance with safety plans, assessments, instructions, etc.?
Once the Bullocks and DFACS got on the same page of what the expectations were, we had no issues.
Once they agreed with us, they were no longer in the
you
gulag.
responded, I think, to one of my earlier questions by saying, with a lot of attorneys involved, you're preventing transparency. So I guess let me ask again. Did you observe my client, Carrie Timms, or her husband, Brady Timms, do anything wrong throughout the entire pendency of your review and handling and management of this case?
Wow.
No, they completed their assessments and they were compliant.
Okay. I don't think I have any further questions.
Nope.
Thank you for your
They
time.
did nothing wrong.
Literally.
They literally did nothing wrong.
Oh.
That is it. That is really great. That is a great
And
way
you
to
saw
end.
Catherine looking at the jury again. My
Yep.
favorite thing that she does. She
Yeah.
looks right at them to ask the question.
Oh no, she develops a relationship with the jury because it's like, hey, we're going to
beautiful.
watch this together. Hey, watch this. So did they do anything wrong?
Guys, it's so fun to watch her.
Yeah.
So much fun.
But she also has to, and I think both Catherine and the male
Jason.
lawyers, Jason, what they really did, because your jury inclination is going to be to protect children.
Yeah.
So they need to explain to the parents just how easily this could be each and every one of them on the jury,
Yeah.
or this
Yeah.
could be your son-in-law, or this could be your daughter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, you're looking at the jury and going, hey, you remember that time when you didn't abuse your kids? Yeah, you could be in here for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Imagine that you get the call, you get the knock on the door, and you do everything these people tell you to do. Everything. Just like these people did. You do everything they told you to do. They still take your kid, and they are still plotting on how to take your kid. This is just, it's absurd.
And they will come in here and go, well, like, that's not really my department. And there's this other person. And so what I did was the thing. But the beauty of that, or I guess the silver lining to that, is that when it actually comes to where all of these cases should go, when even deciding if the child should be taken, which is a criminal court, the whole thing falls apart because they put this person in. Okay, what did you do? Well, this one little snippet. Okay, did they do anything wrong during that snippet? I mean, I didn't like that they hired lawyers, but no. And then you bring in the next person and okay, what did you do? Well, this little tiny part over here. Okay, great. Did they do anything wrong during that? Not really, no. Okay, great. And they can just kind of go down the line and go, okay, so since none of them actually reviewed this full case, but you as the jury got to, you'll notice every single person said they did nothing wrong. Why are we even here?
And I know
Why are we even here?
You're wrapping up, Megan, but I just want to say that for the Alexander trial, which was in Pike County, Georgia, you have the exact same situation. The difference was the attorneys. A lot of people have asked, well, you think they were wrongly convicted, and 100% Terilyn and Tyler Alexander were wrongfully convicted. The difference is the attorneys. Even though their attorneys meant well and did a decent job, they looked at it like a criminal investigation, a criminal trial. And Ryan Rowson and I have talked a lot. This is a medically misdiagnosed situation. And that's how Jason and Catherine handled it, as a medically misdiagnosed, not a crime, because no crime occurred.
There was no crime.
There was no crime. So that's the big difference on how someone can get wrongfully convicted. How can a jury sit there and convict somebody? You have the attorneys. Catherine and Jason did a phenomenal job. And then Steve Wasley
Listen,
and Catherine did it for Hernandez.
Cynthia Absug was stuck with a public defender who I believe was working for the state.
Yeah.
And she was convicted solely on his negligence.
Yeah.
He refused to use evidence that would exonerate her. He refused to do it. And he kept saying, don't worry. I'm going to use it, until it was over and he had never used it. And we were like, what the actual F is going on here?
So sad. It's so
sad. I mean, I wrote all about it, and she was wrongfully convicted. Luckily, her sentence for a horrific child abuser was only 30 days in jail, because not even the state of Colorado could actually make it a crime. It was absurd. She got convicted for a conspiracy to kidnap, even though there was no conspirator. They never did actually bring in a conspirator of any kind. And I had the prosecutor afterwards on camera say, I didn't think we were going to get conspiracy. Well, then why did you bring it? You just told me you didn't think you were going to get it. But so you lied to the jury to get it in the first place. And now you're telling me you didn't even have it.
To see what they could get, just to
throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Yes.
There's a guy named Temujin Kensu. That wasn't his birth name. He converted to Buddhism while he's in prison, serving a life sentence without parole for murdering someone based on the only evidence they had was someone who he was in jail with, who said that he murdered this person. That's their only evidence. His evidence that he didn't do it was that he wasn't there.
Is that the Zachariah Anderson case? Because that's the Zachariah Anderson case.
That does sound like the Zachariah Anderson case also.
Okay, well, no, it's another. That wasn't his name. I forget what it was, but it wasn't Zachariah. But he. So what the prosecution said was, well, I mean, he could in the time, like they basically said he couldn't have been there. There were all these witnesses. I believe, dozens of witnesses who said that he was at this other place, and they went, he could have hired a charter plane.
Oh,
He's in
for
prison
God's
for the rest
sake.
of his life without parole for that.
Oh my God.
it shouldn't surprise us at this point.
It's really terrible. And if you want more of this hideousness, we will be back here tomorrow to watch the next. Who's the next one? Who's up next? Let's see.
Faulkner is after Bray.
Who's Faulkner?
That's the detective.
Oh, well, I promised Carrie Timms, though. I promised Carrie that she would be able to watch that with us. So we may have to hold off on him until Friday because she really wants to be involved in that. So we will skip past him. We will go to the next state's witness, whoever that is. Who's the next one? Who's after? Let me check.
I should know it all, but I don't.
Looks like
Oh my goodness, it's Penny Miller, guys.
Penny Miller.
She's the CASA. Oh.
Okay.
My goodness.
All right. So we will watch Penny Miller tomorrow. And then we will wait for on Friday will be the detective, Jodie Faulkner, because I know Carrie really wants to be there for that. So we will wait for her day off so that she can be there for the entire thing. Spike Cohen, thank you so much for being here. What are you doing? What's coming up for you? Where should people find you? And what's next on your agenda?
Go to youarethepower.net and get involved. If you want to be at the tip of the spear of fixing this problem, both at the level of helping individual families that are having this happen to them, and also at the level of like fixing it at a policy level, that's what we're doing. So if you go to youarethepower.net, you can get involved. What's on my agenda is more of this. And not just, family reunification is just one of the many things we do. We help people who's are facing losing their homes because their local government wants to just take their home and use it for something else. We deal with people who are being wrongfully accused of other things, cases of police misconduct where the police are refusing to release the body cam footage, all sorts of fun stuff. And they all have this common thread. You have human beings who have decided to treat other human beings like something other than a person. And and what we do is we utilize massive amounts of public pressure on these specific people, not the systems, not the government, but these specific people. Hey, act like a person, do the right thing here. And we have had a 100% success rate for the last 2 years, and a nearly 100% success rate for as long as we've been around, for almost 4 years now. So if you want to be a part of that, go to youarethepower.net. I would be remiss not to talk about Jennifer for a moment. We found out about this because of Jennifer and Jonathan. This was not on our radar. We were not looking at state level cases. We were only doing local stuff. If you had told me we were going to get involved with at scale with parents, innocent parents being accused of child abuse, I probably would have cringed a little bit and thought, are we sure they didn't abuse the kids? But when the Williams family, when Jennifer brought this to our attention and we looked at it, we realized that this was happening. And keep in mind, Jennifer was a foster parent. There was an incentive in place for her to just keep her head down and go, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they really did abuse them. I do want to keep doing this. And it's something that's really rewarding. I don't want to rock the boat. I'm sure the people involved are doing the right thing and they'll figure it out if it's right or wrong. Because she knew this was wrong, she was willing to make that sacrifice and then take the additional step of reaching out to us. And I've told her this privately, and now I'm telling the world. So now everyone knows, Jennifer. This all started with her. This whole movement sparked with her saying, nope, this isn't going to happen on my dime. All of those people in those different sectors, when it came to her sector, she went, no, absolutely not. So thank you, Jennifer. God bless you and your family. And thank you all that are a part of this. Like I said, again, go to youarethepower.net. This is what we do.
And you're doing a wonderful job, Spike. So, and I wouldn't have known about this without Jennifer either. Jennifer reached out to me too, and she was a real.
Well, to be fair, Mandy, my sister, found Spike Cohen. She already followed him, and she told me she reached out to You Are the Power. She also reached out to you, Megan. You're the first one. I never talked to you. You talked to my sister first.
Oh, that's right. I did talk to your sister.
It's
amazing. I would never have heard about this either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would never have heard of it either. And it's just been great that you had you're the first foster parent, by the way, Jennifer, the first foster parent who's ever had the courage to come forward and talk to me. I know that I've been involved in other cases where foster parents should have come out and should have talked about what they knew. And especially in the Absug case, I can't imagine that no one has talked about that yet. But, you know, I agree with Spike. It's amazing. You're amazing. Thank you for doing it. And thank you for being out there, because it helps. Everybody, please go and subscribe both to youarethepower.net on YouTube and also on the internet. Spike's got a Twitter account you can follow. I forget what the handle is. What is it?
Hold on. That's a good
Y-A-T-P.
question.
I think it's YATP official.
I just tell people to look for Spike Cohen. At Real Spike Cohen.
At Real Spike Cohen. You can follow him on X and Mo in the Deep End. What you got coming up for everybody on your channel?
Let's see. Tonight I'm over on Shizzy's. We are starting the documents for the Twin Flames Suiverse. So all of the craziness. Monday nights are cults. And then tomorrow morning I will be back with Musings at 4 a.m. And then Mornings with Mo, where you get your headlines, true crime, and all the stories that make you wonder if Final Form Jesus is on his way at 8 a.m.
And Flux, House of Flux, you've got a stream coming up here at 1 p.m. What are you doing?
I do. It's at 1:30, but I gotta grab some lunch first. Just more plain zombie Project Zomboid, very niche but awesome. It's like the most realistic survival, like zombie apocalypse game you can play. For the first time, I've made it to 6 months in one world without dying. So like we're continuing, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah,
I've watched you play that before. It's fun. It's fun. So everybody get over there and make sure that you subscribe also to House of Flux with 2 X's. There's a couple of super chats and one super tip for me to get to before we say goodbye. Rob says, oops, wrong video on recent super chat. Bingo card hair discussion opportunity was day 5, 50 minutes. Blonde court reporter. Okay, so I found her. It's not a beret. It's a clip-on hairpiece. And we may have to look at this tomorrow. Rob says, darn it, another correction. It's a bailiff, not a court reporter. Yes. What can I say? Card carrying dude, my detailed observation skills do not exist. Well, especially because you mistook a beret for a clip-on hairpiece, but whatever, we'll let it slide. M-Spire member for 11 months. I've been lurking in this case. It makes me so mad. Love to you all. Well, yeah, me too. We're all a little verklempt when it comes to this. Rozilla's Realm, thanks for the 5.
Ladies, are you having trouble finding bras that actually fit when going grocery shopping? Are you accused of smuggling watermelons?
Does Dolly Parton look on you with jealousy? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then Super Tits bras are for you.
All right, Spike, for clarification, I sometimes refer to Super Tips as Super Tits because it comes out wrong. And the chat will never let me forget it. So send Super Tits, whatever. Tips, tits, whatever. Rickles64, thanks for the Super Tip.
I remember the first time Megan came out of her shell and spoke her mind. I think she liked it. I hope she does it again because this wallflower routine doesn't work.
Thanks, Dad. Appreciate that. That's my dad's voice, and it's so accurate. It's scary. All right. Well, that's it for us today. Good night, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And we'll be back tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. Spike, you're invited. I'll send you a link just in case you can make it. All right. See you.